If only I could figure out how to stop the music. Here we are. We're live. It's episode 34 of the Coin Jam podcast. I'm Charlie from Overtime Arcade. Hang on one second. Yeah, I know. I had to mute
Forget who you are?
already.
I thought you were gonna let us introduce ourselves after you said hang on a second, and then you almost died on camera.
I almost left. Yeah. I'm Charlie from Overtime Arcade. As always, I'm joined with my partners, Question Mark in Crime, Liam from Retrobotics, Kay from Prime Arcade, and Chance from the unemployment line, formerly of the Canadian Arcade. You got fired from the Canadian Arcade?
No, it has nothing to do with the Canadian Arcade. We walked off the movie I was working on so that I could spend.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about that. I didn't want to bring it up.
No, I just Josh is still working on the movie. I'm not. I have time off now. I was going to take some.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I got time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
That's good. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going to do a puzzle.
Kay, have you told your boss to buzz off?
Yeah, I didn't sign any NRFB or whatever
NDA.
That.
NRFB.
So I can say whatever I want. It's fine.
I didn't sign no PCP.
Yeah. No MDMA. It's cool.
My boss is a
What
dick.
Is it,
oh wait.
The Canadian Act of People's Choices and Voices.
I don't know what. Hey man, it's a sweatpants day. I don't have to think too hard.
It's always a sweatpants day.
Yeah.
Liam, is it a sweatpants day over where you are?
I'm not sure because I don't actually own sweatpants.
Wear pants?
Are you kidding me?
You don't
own
them.
a pair of sweatpants.
I do not.
Sam, I know you're listening. Get this man a pair of sweatpants.
And if you are Liam's Secret Santa, whether that's in the Discord or on Clav, there's still shopping days before Christmas. I'll tell you, Liam wears a extra tall.
I'm gonna say you're probably like a large tall.
I don't know. I'm fine with jeans, any weather.
All right.
Around the house when there's nothing to do, just sweatpants, man. Like if you don't
fall
gotta
asleep
go
on
out,
the couch watching TV in jeans.
It's amazing. You get hungry and you want to just go down to the local Circle K, sweatpants. It's great.
Y'all wear pants at home?
Well, sometimes.
I mean, you gotta put them on to go to Walmart, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Walmart is what the example you want to use there.
That's fair.
Oh, Sam checking in. Sam says I can confirm he does not wear sweatpants or shorts.
Sam, take it from my wife.
Shorts? Is that a loophole?
Sam, take it from my wife. Get Liam a pair of sweatpants.
You're not going to wear jorts in honor of John Cena retiring?
John Cena retired?
Yesterday, yeah. This was his last match.
Did anyone see it happen?
Last match.
No, I believe him when he says it's his last match.
And yeah, Mark, not shorts either. Doesn't matter the weather. Hot or cold, always jeans.
See, I wear jeans like 95% of the time. I do. But like when I come home and I just want to relax and I still need to have something on, not all the time. Sorry for the visual. I will put on sweatpants. Or in the summer, it's basketball shorts. Basketball shorts are awesome in the summer, right?
I'll take your word for it.
For me, it's like
my work uniform 8 months out of the year.
For me, it's like if you are appearing in front of a judge or in a wedding, then you're wearing like suit pants, right?
Yeah.
Almost anything else is jeans, is the formal wear.
Welcome to sweatpants talk.
And then at home, it's cold. If it's warm, I'm in shorts, and if it's cold, I'm in sweatpants.
Yeah,
and I'm in sweatpants right now.
I'm about the same. We're a ranch. I'm a ranching kid. I grew up on the back of a horse, basically, and jeans.
So you wore chaps? Yeah.
No, not chaps. When you're riding, maybe. I don't want to know.
I own a pair of chaps.
What you do in your personal time has nothing to do with
They are chainsaw chaps. To wear, because like I don't have a chainsaw because we live next to the woods and there's trees that fall in my yard and you got to get rid of them, right?
Yeah,
and you don't want to be chainsawing down near your legs without some kind of. But I do wear them with shorts, and so from behind it looks a little strange.
I just had a really good idea.
Okay.
So,
related idea.
what kind of trees, what kind of forest do you have around your house? This is arcade related. I'm getting
mostly hardwood.
Okay. What kind of hardwood?
Mixed, all kinds of stuff.
Elm, oak.
Yeah, I'm not an arborist.
Would
He's not a treeologist.
Is there?
Yeah, I don't live in Canada.
Hold on, and I mean this with all sincerity, Charlie. And
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the chat.
No, it's new. It's new growth. None of it's worth logging.
Damn. I was gonna say,
yeah.
Because is there a world where you mill your own lumber and make your own cabinet?
No. Eastern U.S. was all clear cut up to about 100 years ago, and then all this is regrown farmland.
Yeah.
So all the trees are like 100 years old or younger.
That's why Western U.S. is better out of all the states.
Welcome to Tree Talk.
Yes.
Here, okay, I got something you can't relate to. So it snowed for me and Liam today. I'm sure Chance has had snow for,
I don't know what
for
that
a
means.
while.
Dude, all the snow is melting right now. It's like, what's it in Fahrenheit? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's like +7 or 8 out right now, Celsius.
Yeah.
Like the sparkling drink?
Let's see. Right now it is 16 Fahrenheit with a wind chill of -3.
We're like a week late on this episode, and we haven't even talked arcades once yet. You wouldn't know this was an arcade channel if you hadn't looked at their backgrounds.
No, I don't know what you would think if you saw Kay's background. Talking about wearing no pants.
We'll just stop that right there.
This is the Tiger King.
Welcome to Bedroom Talk.
I'm never gonna financially recover from this.
But I had to. I
just saw the snow
off my wife's. Yeah, I had to brush the snow off my wife's car this morning, but I didn't have to shovel the driveway nor the walkway. That melted before we had to worry about it.
Just out of curiosity, do you have one of those like battery powered like snow shovel things where it's like a mini snowblower on the end of a stick?
I have an electric snowblower, but I very rarely use it.
Okay.
Most of the time, I'm just shoveling.
I always laugh when like some of the southern states that barely get snow, like maybe an inch or two, you guys like whip out like a snowblower and go to town because you've never heard of a shovel. Like we got like a foot last week.
I almost the only time I really tell myself I need to shovel is if we're expecting a delivery. Because both my wife and I have 4-wheel drive vehicles, and it's not like it snows that much here. So even 6 inches of snow, we're going to be able to get out of the driveway.
And there's not a single one of us that park in our garage.
We got games in there.
Welcome to Snowblower Talk.
Yeah.
What is this podcast?
I don't know.
Well, this is technically our November episode. Let's see who we got in the live chat here.
What's the next topic? Is it November? We're talking Thanksgiving, right? For this,
we're talking our
thing. No. This is not Thanksgiving episode. Thanksgiving was in October.
My wife makes a mean sweet potato casserole. None of this marshmallow stuff. It's like got candied pecans on top. It's out of this world. So anyway,
agree to that.
We got Encore's Arcade. We got a ton of Overtime Arcade channel members here. We got Jumping General, Wayne Sylvester, Marky, Mark, and Mike JM. Oh, Chance and Prime. They're both channel members. And Random Billy Bob. Neil Bjorklund from Winnipeg, Manitoba. That's very cool. We got so many Canadian friends here. I got to relax with the jokes. Sam and Papa Sean 69 tubing in from Peterborough, Ontario. Kawaru's going on. Hey, what's happening? I'll show you guys my chaps sometimes. They're rather impressive.
Please don't.
Not at all. We're good.
How long is a Canadian foot? Dominic M is here. 30 centimeters. Is that a
30 centimeters?
0.3 meters. Ooh, we got something. Oh, Mark, your comment got moderated. I had to approve it. Gazelle's Arcade is here. Gazelle's been cranking out the videos. Russell Gibson, what's happening? All right. So Wayne Sylvester talking about Canadian foot makes me think of Canadian Tire. I've never been. I've been to a Timmy's, but I've never been to a Canadian Tire.
Canadian Tire is okay.
So
it's like a. What is it?
It's not just like a tire shop, right?
No,
they have
God,
other stuff.
No, they're like 110 years old or 130 years old or something like that. They do have an automotive section. They do have tires. They do have that. But you could also get like tools.
Store?
No, not a department store. You could go there and you could get tools. You could get small appliances. You could get pet stuff. You could get outdoor stuff like backpacks and kayaks and like, oh crap. What else did I get? Like a party. They just bought Party City here in Canada. So like you can get Party City stuff in the Christmas season, or actually in all the different major holidays. So like Christmas, Halloween, that kind of thing. They have a section of that. But it's like if I needed to get like not Harbor Freight quality tools, but not Home Depot quality tools, just like
it's below Home Depot.
It's like slightly. Well, actually, no, that's not true.
You're talking sub Ryobi.
No. It's better than Ryobi. Mastercraft is better than Ryobi.
So that's above Home Depot.
Yeah, but not much but Home Depot also has like a lot of other name brands, right? And they fall on Mastercraft and Maximum, which are their base and higher end tools. But anyway, yes, I've bought a lot of stuff at Canadian Tire over the years. I wouldn't call it a Harbor Freight. We kind of have like our Princess Auto is our Harbor Freight, but it's nowhere near as good.
Harbor Freight is the best place to buy single use tools.
So Harbor Freight is when we got on Grinkfest 7. The last Grinkfest, when we got stuck down there with our truck, which that story and that video is still pending one day, because our truck broke down. We drove down there. We had
this was like 9 years ago.
This is COVID. Yeah, this was just before COVID. We got stuck down there with a truck, and we had gone. One of the great things about driving down there from Calgary is that we got to go to a Harbor Freight and just load up on tools. Like my workbench out in the garage.
Not anymore.
Great workbench. Well, no, we brought it all back. Eventually, we got everything back. Like my employer paid to fly us home and paid us to go to Target to get extra luggage so we could take everything with us. But yeah, anyway.
So what's Canadian Tire money? Wayne asked me to ask you.
Welcome to Tool Talk.
So Canadian Tire money.
It's like closed cash?
Kind of. Canadian Tire money doesn't exist anymore. Well, not really. So Canadian Tire money was actually like a legal tender paper money that Canadian Tire had. And depending on the size of your purchase, you would get, 5 cents, 10 cents, 1 cent, $1 if you were like a big purchase. It was a small percentage Canadian Tire cash back, but this stuff was as good as cash, really. And I mean, it was well made. It was well designed. I mean, by the early 2000s, mid 2000s, you could probably counterfeit it pretty easy. They didn't ever switch over to polymer bills. They just ended up going.
Not that you would know.
No, they would.
This might be why it doesn't exist anymore.
Possibly. But like, you know what? Okay. So like short story. So when I was a kid, I used to work at a paintball field, and once a year,
you were in a video game.
I was. Once a year, every year, my boss would do a Canadian Tire day. So it'd be like a big game out at the field, and you could pay Canadian Tire money with like as part of your bill. And it was cool because like he could just collect all that and go out and buy a new generator, or go out and buy like a new table saw, or some furniture for his deck. Like, because that's kind of what you did. And they used to have they have a gas station chain. In fact, Josh constantly reminds me that he used to work at Canadian Tire gas station when he was younger. So like, that's a thing. But anyway, yes, Canadian Tire, Canadian establishment. And they just recently bought up a whole bunch of the Hudson's Bay IP.
Since you walked out of your last film gig, is Canadian Tire sponsoring that talk?
Yeah, right.
There you go.
No, fun fact. I actually used to work for Canadian Tire. So CTC, Canadian Tire Corporation as a whole, owns Canadian Tire. They also own other companies like Mark's Work Warehouse here in Canada, and what used to be called Forzani Groups, which is now FGL Sports, which owns like Sport Check and Atmosphere and a bunch of hockey companies and all that stuff.
Canadian Tire TED Talk.
Yeah. I used to be the marketing specialist for all of Sport Check across Canada.
It's like the Idiocracy thing where it's like they pay me every time I say Canadian Tire.
And they only paid him in company script.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a poor living.
Do you guys have Ace Hardware up there?
Mm-mm. No, we had Lowe's and Rona, and then they kind of dropped.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Ace Hardware is so good because they're smaller, and so they can be in lots of different places, like much smaller. They're not giant big box stores. Well, they don't have a lumber yard, and they don't have large appliances, right? So it's a much smaller, almost like neighborhood hardware store. The two things that are best about them is their little bins of random parts are awesome. They're very well stocked, well organized. If you go to Home Depot and Lowe's, theirs are actually smaller and usually just a train wreck, right? Things aren't in the right bins. You'll never find whatever. Ace keeps theirs really, really well. Ace is also awesome for coupons. Almost every time you go in there, they will hand you on the way out $5 off, $20 next purchase.
Oh, wow.
And you're constantly sending you coupons in the app and stuff. So like if you just go there one time, pay sticker, you're not getting the best deal. But their like rewards program and coupons are awesome.
Are they franchised? Because we have a similar chain. Yeah,
they're like locally owned.
Here. I think Wayne
under
Wayne
a larger umbrella.
So we've got Home Hardware here, and it's basically a very similar thing, but they also have lumber. They're known for lumber, and you find them in a lot of the smaller towns. And like I bought my first rifle from a Home Hardware in High River.
Yeah, they'll often say like Chance's Ace Hardware, Liam's Ace Hardware, or the town Ace Hardware.
Yeah, you guys had Totem too for a while, didn't you? Because we had Totem.
You could got True Value, but that's much smaller.
Oh yeah. Well, but did any of them have like popcorn, like a popcorn machine when you walked in the front door and you get a bag of popcorn? That was just us.
I want to say I've seen
that
at
like, True Value.
Oh, was
True
it?
Value or Tractor Supply?
Yeah, because you would walk into like a Totem, and one of the first things you'd see when you walk past the tills was one of those popcorn machines, like the one I've got downstairs, and they'd always have a fresh batch, and you'd walk around shopping with a bag of popcorn. And then when Rona bought them, they made a promise to the customers to continue doing the popcorn thing, but then COVID hit a couple of years later, and it was all over. So it's kind of sucks. Home Hardware still has popcorn on occasion, but depending on the store.
Speaking of which, Kay, have you picked up any games lately?
I was going to say, this podcast is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace is the place for helpful hardware folks.
That's right.
Sponsor us, please.
And the Texas Serengeti Foundation.
I would love it. I would take them. I would take Harbor Freight. You name it.
Sorry, can we time out for a second? Kay, before we go any further, can you explain the new bed coverings in the background there, please?
That's not new. I got that from my sister.
Okay. Your sister has great taste. I'm not making fun of her,
absolutely.
and I'm not making fun of you. That is awesome. Like,
yeah, that's the comforter. It's got matching pillowcases too.
Nice. Well done.
This has been Pillow Talk. Okay, so what was the question? Did I pick up new games?
What are you working on? You picked up?
Oh my god!
anything?
You want to talk about arcades? Okay,
Let's talk about arcades.
Yeah, I picked up a few things. I actually did videos on them too. So if you want to watch some TikToks about me picking up some projects,
I have, and I like them.
Oh my god!
Wow, you're the one.
I went through them and everything, and kind of showed off, what state they're in, and eventually I might even fix them and do videos on that too. But they've been put into a pile of like 200 machines. So if you want to see those particular ones get fixed, and I don't know, I'll fix something, but maybe not those. But I picked up a couple of crane machines, and I actually did fix one of them and made a video of that. I picked up a Galaxian cabinet, which was empty. It didn't have a monitor or a board. It had a Miss Pac-Man marquee and control panel overlay, although it had a Willis control panel overlay on it. It's still...
What you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis? I think it still had the wiring in it, though, so I could throw a board in it if I wanted to, as long as I had a monitor. And it's already wired up, so I could still just throw a board in there. I picked up a kangaroo cab, although this poor thing was having an identity crisis because the very front of the control panel overlay had kangaroo, but the top of the control panel overlay was Galaga 3, and so was the marquee, but the side art said Tecmo. So I don't know what this game was supposed to be at this point, but it's an empty cab too, but it's still wired for kangaroo. At least that's what I think it was wired for. That's what the wiring harness seemed to match. And it still had the wiring for like an AR2 and a power brick. So that's what I assume was still going in there. But I have a customer that wants a dig dug. So I think I'm going to strip all the artwork.
We were talking about that.
Yeah.
It's the same cabinet.
It's the same cabinet, so I don't have to modify it in any way. So I think I'm just going to strip all the miscellaneous artwork that's on it and put a dig dug on there. And one of my last runs to this warehouse that I've been going to over and over, they had a dig dug marquee and bezel for me. So I just need a control panel overlay and side art, and artwork wise, that's all I need. I've already got PCBs. I got a couple of them. I'm sure one of them probably works. I've got AR2s just laying around everywhere. I've got a power brick. I have a couple of dig dug cocktails. One of them has all the artwork and everything. The other one is pretty much just a nifty shell. But I can rip the wiring out of that one because I'm going to keep one of them as a complete dedicated dig dug, and the other one it has no artwork, it has nothing in it. It's just a complete empty cabinet except for the wiring. I think I'm going to pull the wiring from that and use that as the wiring for this other cabinet.
And nobody repros the dig dug cocktail artwork. There's high res scans available, so you can probably get it done yourself, but
yeah,
nobody makes it.
Yeah, and I don't need 2 dig dug cocktails. One will be good.
Yeah,
I've got a dig dug cab that somebody converted to a 25-inch monitor and then like painted the sides gray. I've got it on location with I think an MVS1 slot in it, and I've always wanted to do that. Is just kind of like restore it to a dig dug, but put a 25-inch monitor in it. I think that'd be gnarly. So that'd be really cool to see if you actually do that, because I'd follow that.
Liam's giving you a gnarly look for saying that.
Yeah, Liam, you've been giving this the darkest scowl for the entire time he was talking about that.
So yeah, I will restore one dig dug, and the other one, I don't know what I'll do with that cabinet, but it's not going to be a dig dug. It'll probably just sit in the pile forever until I do something with it.
Make a 25-inch dig dug.
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably make a 60-in-1. I'll make it a 60-in-1, and I'll turn off dig dug, so it'll have all the other games except dig dug. It'll be the anti dig dug. It'll be a 59-in-1.
This isn't a dig dug. You should just make a dig dug, like fully restore a dig dug. Put Mario Brothers in it, like
horizontal.
just have a row
1901.
of games, like all the best classic games, and everything looks like showroom. It's perfect, but when you go up to play them, completely different game inside. Like
that makes me think of a serious question, Kay. When you have
they're all just rotated by one.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
When you have customers that are interested in a multi-game, right? And they say, hey, I want all the games I remember. Do you ever have to break their hearts and explain, well, there are some games that are vertical and some games that are horizontal, and they don't come on the same boards?
Buy 2.
Yes.
Or is that an opportunity, to upsell them into 2 cabinets?
Yeah, that's when I explained to them, okay, well,
basket
you need
attached.
60-in-1 and you need a 3000-in-1. Because they're like, oh, I want that. Usually if they're saying all the classics, then they're gonna say, well, then I want Miss Pac-Man, but I also want Asteroids, and I also want Track and Field. It's like, well, those 3 games are all not going to be on the same thing. That it doesn't work like that.
Actually, Kay, go ahead.
That's when I say, but I have this other multi-cade that can play those other ones as well. So you need to buy this one, and you need to buy this one if you want to play everything. So it is an opportunity to upsell.
Here's a somewhat related question, and everyone listening to this, everyone involved in this podcast right now, every single one of us has had somebody say to them, when you tell them you're an arcade collector, like, oh, hey, there's this one game or this one pinball machine that I've been looking for years, and they try and describe it, and then you explain it to them what it is really quickly, and it turns out it's like something ultra rare that is very uncommon. Like, I think I was getting a haircut a decade ago, and the lady was describing Twilight Zone pinball, and I'm like, you can get them. They're like $12,000.
Usually the game they're describing is like super common.
Super common.
So,
but Kay,
almost
I
always,
guess my question for you is how often do you get a customer that just like out of the blue heard about you, comes up and says, hey, I'd like this game, but I don't really know what it's called. And then you have to break their heart because it's like a super rare game.
Most of the time it's not super rare. If it's going to be anything rare, it's going to be probably Star Wars or Tempest. That's going to be the rarest thing that comes up.
Or like
I actually did have someone ask me about an uncommon game. My coworker was describing a game that at first I thought was Asteroids, but it turned out the game he was talking about was Space War, and that was the one he was looking for. I was kind of surprised that anybody remembered that machine.
I thought you were going to say like Tail Gunner or something.
No, it was Space War. He was 100% adamant it was Space War.
With the keys and everything.
Wow.
Sometimes someone will describe a game and it's more obscure. Like I had someone really, really want a Mousetrap.
What?
And I'm like,
Mousetrap's good.
Okay.
It's a pretty decent game.
I'm going to have more time finding you one, but
where did they play that they know that game? Because it's fairly uncommon.
They played it growing up.
Wow.
They had a memory of it somewhere. It was like,
yeah,
I don't know where I'm going to find you one, but
someone else mentioned playing Inferno to me and was pretty adamant about Inferno. And I was like, are you sure that you played that game somewhere? Are you
grew up
really
near Chicago?
Sure? It was, I think, in Ohio, they said. But yeah, no, I was like, are you really sure played that back in the day?
I asked Chicago because, Williams
that's where Williams
was. Yeah, test locations. Yeah, Mousetrap is fun. The more I play Mousetrap, the more I enjoy it. And I don't know, was it you, Liam, or Dell maybe was showing me like how to play it last summer, and it really clicked. And I'm like, okay, I want to play this a lot more.
It's kind of like Bubbles. Same idea.
No, not at all.
No. I'm just saying, like in my head for Bubbles, like I hadn't read the card, and then it clicked.
It's almost closer to Ladybug.
I was gonna say Super Pac-Man, but good.
Yeah, it's been somewhere between Super Pac and Ladybug.
Not a high bar, honestly.
Well, what else do you have, Kay?
I most recently I picked up a Centipede, which I literally picked up from a landfill.
What?
The address he gave me was the landfill, and I picked it up from the way station out front.
Elaborate.
Haven't you done this before?
No. When things go to the landfill here in Canada, they go to the landfill. Like
No. I thought one of you guys was telling a story about how you picked it up from like a landfill office break room years ago.
Josh did that once.
Or Josh did?
I think so. I know somebody. Oh, this is gonna bug me. I've actually heard this story.
I say, no, that wasn't me. No, someone contacted me about just a Centipede that someone had dropped off at the landfill, and he was like, "This thing's not in that bad a shape. Someone might." He specifically said like the marquee and bezel glass. Like at least the parts had to be worth something, so he didn't want to just throw it out. So he found me and asked me if I wanted it. And when I went and looked at it, it certainly wasn't in the worst shape I've ever seen. It had a rat's nest in it at some point, but it's definitely salvageable. And yeah, the marquee and bezel, like I don't have to replace or anything. They're in fantastic shape.
But he sought you out. You didn't have like an existing like, hey, if you ever find anything, give me a call.
Well, no, I have that, but he did find me and contact me. I don't even remember on what medium he found me. I think it was just Facebook, but yeah, he found me and it's just like, hey, I got this thing, want to go take a look at it? And yeah, I went and bought it from him. But yeah, just at the way station, right when you first pull up, it was just right around the back of the building. I just picked it up from the sidewalk.
Did he try to look up what one was worth and tell you it was $2,000, or did he sell to you by the pound?
No, it's just a couple $100.
Yeah,
which wasn't a bad deal at all because once I fixed the safety cutoff switch, it did power on. The PCB doesn't quite work, but the monitor did come on, so I've got a starting point. I also picked up a sharpshooter, which was I think a reproduction cab. It's got all reproduction artwork, so it's not the best quality artwork, but it is brand new artwork, so it's okay, I guess. Everything looks just a little bit off. It just wasn't the best quality artwork when it was printed out, but whatever. I'll still fix it and sell it. And I also picked up a Speed Up, which if you've never played it, is a sit-down racing game by Namco. And I'm pretty sure it came from the same company because it has the same, you can tell the same artwork came from the same printer because it has all new artwork all over it. And the guy said he got it from the same place, so I presume it came from the same printer.
I think Liam froze. Oh, never mind.
He's disgusted.
Just another scowl, and he's like, "Are you having a good day, Liam? Are you okay?"
I'm fine.
Okay, cool.
And then the last video, which I just posted like maybe 2 hours ago, if that, I I bought back a multi-cade that I sold a few years back. It's one of the laziest jobs I've ever done. It was a Ring King cabinet that was just a converted Frogger, and I didn't do anything other than like
What?
change. Yeah, your background music's a little loud there, Charlie.
What?
Thank you. So, all I did was change the marquee. I'd left all the Ring King artwork on there and just threw a 61 board in there. And I didn't even do very good wire management or anything like that. This thing was just a mess. It was a very lazy conversion I did, but I bought it back because the monitor went out. And I ended up deconverting it back to a Frogger. And it's still a 16-1, just with the other 59 games turned off. But I put Frogger artwork back onto it and cleaned it up a lot better and made it presentable.
You mean wood grain vinyl?
Yes. But it's got the marquee and the bezel and the control panel overlay at least.
I'm so intrigued about this sometimes because not a business. I always have so many questions about this kind of thing. So like, let's say not me, but some random, person A buys a game from you and 5-10 years later, no, not even 10 years. Let's say 5 years later, they're like, hey, I want to sell this back to you. And the game is in identical condition. And let's say the market has stayed the exact same. Do you just cash back or you pocket? You say, well,
it loses 50% of its value once it's off the lot.
What's your rate? Where do you drop that so you can make some money off of that?
Most of the time I just say, what do you want for it? And see what they say and work with it from there. But a lot of the times I buy stuff back at half value.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's just the easiest working point to go from.
Yeah. And if the game's shot up, but if the game is shot up in value, let's say it was before John did his Journey series and now John's done his Journey series and everybody wants a Journey.
The majority of the time, if it's something that they bought from me, we're going to go off of the price that they paid for it when they bought it from me. Because that's just the easiest price point to work from.
And that's how the IRS knows you take care of your taxes well. You've admitted that publicly, openly.
I mean, they don't know what they bought it from me for the first place because they paid cash and I didn't report it, so it's fine.
Oh, fair.
Everything gets laundered through his El Pollo Loco franchise.
That's the next state over. That's New Mexico. I'm not that guy.
That's why he keeps going over to New Mexico.
Gotta
pick up the bankroll.
Grudgingly. I hate New Mexico. Yeah. Their speed limit is garbage. As soon as I cross the state line, I got to drive 15 miles per hour slower.
Oh,
New Mexico sucks.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like driving into BC from Alberta.
Now, Liam, you were warning us that you were going to be pretty light on updates and stuff, but I know for a fact you've been busy working on a bunch of games. You've been posting. Well, you've been working on some games. You've been sharing pictures all over the place on your updates. We already talked about one of the games you've been working on. So why don't you fill us in on what's been going on in the retro robotics lab?
Obviously, no content as the last 8 months, and have not picked up any new machines at all. I have been working on stuff, mostly Cinematronics machines. One of the Space Wars and the Armor Attack are completely done, which is nice. So now, instead of taunting me with their non-workingness sitting in the corner of the garage, they are sitting in the corner of the garage and working, which is a mild improvement, even if I would prefer them to not be there. I am still trying to fix one of the Space Wars boards, which is actually sitting behind me right now, and I've been going over it with a signature analyzer 4 days. I've got this enormous binder full of signatures that I've been plowing through, trying to understand what is going on in that board.
I'm sorry, show us that binder again.
It's the
okay, no. Time out. Turn it sideways so we can see. There's barely anything in that. That's a 3-ring binder with a half.
It's a 3-ring binder, but there's still a bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah, there's like a half-inch of paper in a 3-ring binder.
You know what? I'll mail you the board. You do it.
God, that's like all the book reports I did in junior high.
Had
the work.
Other than that, I think I'm getting close to figuring that one out. I've got a few chips that are suspect that I need to chase down. Black Widow is working in the garage, sitting there, no control panel, no marquee, just sitting in the cabinet.
So you're touching wires together to trigger inputs. Just
I just tested everything and then just left it alone. I have a space dual also sitting in the garage that I'm not doing anything with, so there's just some vector stuff. And
do you have a space dual other than that in your collection?
I have two of them. I have a cocktail and an upright.
Say, you have the cocktail. Yeah, that's right. I always forget about that.
And I've been working on Cubert cubes a bit. I have everything I need.
Isn't that gonna be quiet about that? Isn't that Sam's
no
present or something?
All the artwork is sitting on the dining room table right now, so it's pretty out in the open. The board is absolutely beyond the pale. I would use a much nastier word.
Beyond the pale?
It's really bad. It's broken in pretty much every conceivable way. It does not boot at all.
I've never heard that term before, beyond the pale.
You have never heard that idiom before?
Not once in my entire life. Beyond the pale. Like, are we talking like pale, like it's a light color, or like it's a bucket and you missed the throw?
Pale was like a ghetto in Ireland, I think.
Oh.
I think it goes back to Irish. It's like beyond the pale.
Wow.
Like so far past. Or the pale, where it's like
bad.
Opposite of the ghetto. It's like, oh, this is the good part of town, and the outside of the pale, the bad part of town.
Good Lord. I did not know that was a thing.
Not an English major.
No.
Should have done those book reports.
Yeah, right. That would have helped me a lot better. Oh.
But outside of that, not really much has changed.
I'm looking up the origin of Beyond the Pale.
It's
from. So the Pale was the settlement in Ireland around Dublin that was controlled by, I think, the English. And so like the rest of Ireland was beyond the Pale, like the wild country.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
This has been etymology talk.
That's right. I always think of Data in Star Trek. Say, what's the etymology of that idiom? Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. I'm not the only person that's never heard the term. If you look at the chat,
you also got a new neon, Liam, which got updated in your background photo too.
That is true. Anniversary present from my wife. We got a Williams neon sign to add to the Williams row. Now that Jousts 2 is actually in the arcade,
and it's there in your photo.
Yep.
How long have you guys been married for now?
3 years.
3 years. Vanessa, I know you're watching this. Are you listening to that? He got something for his.
Chance wants neon.
Oof.
We don't celebrate ours ever. So like we maybe go out for something, but like we don't like. That's gnarly. Sam, you're awesome. I'm jealous.
Sam is awesome.
Yeah, why can't his wife be more like his other wife?
Wow.
All right, Chance. Other than making a very irresponsible career decision, what have you been doing related to arcade stuff?
We're gig workers. We can
Apparently irresponsible relationship decisions.
Apparently. No, we come and go as we please. Like there's not like anyway.
This has been
you talking about your job or your relationship?
Our job. My job. I know I'm like I love my wife very much.
She just opened the door.
Anyway, no, we nothing really arcade. Like I said, I was looking forward to the end of this show. It came a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be. So now I've got free time, and I might have free time until the fall. So I'm gonna, you know what? I've got that Nibbler out in the garage. I've got that PlayChoice 10 dual monitor out in the garage. The what is it? The Defender cabinet is gone. I have given it to my buddy Al in exchange for a rebuilt 25-inch monitor. It was actually in really good nick. He just needed to, put a new kick plate on it because it was the only thing that had any kind of water damage. But yeah, so that's kind of really what's happened. The sim is clean. The tub is clean and ready to go. I'm gonna have to wrap that thing and get it inside, and then as soon as that's built, then I can start working on arcade stuff. So that'll probably be in the next month or so. I can start doing that. I don't traditionally in the winter like to do cabinets. I like to leave that as like a summer, fall thing, just because like it's one thing to work on a game in the garage with like I've got a heater in my garage, like a really nice gas heater, like one of those little Resner furnace things. But at the same time, I don't like being stuck in there when I can't open the garage door because cold air will get in and I got to reheat it. So it's just not.
That's Trent Reznor's family. That company.
Is it really?
It is really. Yeah.
No, like legitimately.
100%. He is the heir to the Rezner.
No.
Yes.
No.
The only place I ever see him, like if you go to again, like a Home Depot or Lowe's, the giant heaters they have up in the corners, right? Mm-hmm. Those are usually Rezner brand.
I've got like a mini version of that in my garage.
Yeah, he is a scion of the Rezner. Oh. I don't know if it's HVAC or whatever supply. 100%.
Did not know that. I mean, he doesn't need their money.
Yeah, Rezner is his actual real life last name, not a stage name.
Well, I figured as much.
Yeah.
Huh. That's gnarly.
Yeah.
Cool. This has been 9 Inch Nails talk.
There you go. Retro music.
I saw them live once. It was a great, he's one of my favorite artists. He is. Anyway, so yeah, so there's been a couple of games recently. There, our buddy Steve actually offered up a Rockola cabinet that had been done as a Double Dragon. I shouldn't, because I've got, again, my rule is only 2 projects at a time. So, and here's what?
You call yourself a collector?
No. I call myself a connoisseur because like I'm only picking the things that I want to keep. I'm not making it
a lot more than that.
Yeah, probably. I'm not buying and selling these things. I'm buying them for the collection. Now, and here's the thing, or I'm buying them to keep them in our little group here. Like the Defender and the dual monitor Nintendo cabinet. Now, here's a hot take. That dual monitor Nintendo cabinet, because I've already got a PlayChoice 10, like my somewhat screen accurate Wild Gunman cab. I don't need a dual monitor downstairs. I don't really want a dual monitor downstairs, and it's been gutted. Like they put Street Fighter in it.
Once it goes down, you're not going to want to bring it back up.
Exactly. And inside that cabinet, even though it has Street Fighter in there, and both monitors are wired to the Street Fighter, which is weird. I haven't even looked at how they did that yet. But there are 2 really nice, somewhat burn-free 20 EZs in there. And they're the better version of the 20 EZs, the one with the little degauss button on the back.
That's a Sharp monitor, and it's not the better version.
No, it's not a Sharp monitor. There's a version of the 20 EZ that has a degauss button on the back. That's not a Sharp XM.
You sure about that? I know the Sharps have them.
I trust Chance on this one.
Yeah.
Big Nintendo guy.
I mean, it might not be a 20 EZ. It might be a 20 EZ something else. I think there's a 20 EZ.
Oh, the Z2AW
or whatever.
Yeah. There's another version of the 20 EZ, but it's like, there's like a whole bunch of versions. Like there's like 4 versions of the 14-inch, right? And they're very, very minuscule differences. But anyway, it's the nicer 20 EZ that's got the degauss, and I'm like, do I just leave that cabinet in the garage and pull those monitors so I have a couple spare Nintendo monitors? Or I've got a couple of games that really need a rebuild on their Nintendo monitors. I normally rebuild the monitors when I get them, but like because I collected a lot of Nintendo when I first got started, I didn't really fully restore them, or the tube wasn't as good, or the chassis wasn't like, should I just scavenge those monitors out of that cabinet and then pass along the cabinet itself to another collector who's now got to go hunt down 2 monitors? Like,
yes,
this is this your problem now.
Yeah, well, yeah, but like it's tough because like when
then you act like you're doing him a favor with a bro deal.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I paid $500 for the Canadian for the whole thing, right? That was the one that I got with the Defender, like literally minutes down my house out of the basement of some church. And I was thinking about it, and I really don't want nor need a dual monitor Play Choice 10. And it would be a disservice as a collector, I think, to just scavenge parts out of it and give the cabinet to somebody else. But there is precedence for this, because that Tron cabinet, you remember like back in the day when Josh and I picked up that free Tron cabinet from our buddy, we did a video on it.
This is back when you guys released content together?
Yes, or just released content. We're still making content together. We're still friends. Everything's fine. We're just not working on the same show together right now. We got that Tron cabinet from a buddy of ours for free. And that was around the time that I realized that I wasn't going to get a tapper. I wasn't going to be able to find a reasonable price for a tapper, but a lot of the hardware is the same on a tapper and a Tron. A lot of it, little things, right? Like little latches and stuff, and the wheels and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? Like,
you stole the latches and screws off of a Tron.
Well, I mean, it was a husk of a Tron.
If only you had an Ace Hardware near your house.
Well, no. But like, legitimately, it was like go back and watch the after this, not during. Go back and watch the video. Like it's someone had converted it to Twin Tigers. It was missing a monitor. It was missing almost everything. And I was like, yeah, Tron, because I'm a big NCOM fan. I'm a big Tron movie fan. I got an NCOM sticker in the back of my car. But like, I was like seriously excited for this Tron. And then literally every day I had it, I was less and less excited. I'd see it in the garage and be like, oh, I'm never going to get to that. My buddy lent me his fully complete Tron that he wanted a full restore on. And I'm like, I'm not. It just sat rent-free in my house, my garage for 5 years. And then he came and got it, and he was fine to get it because he knew that I was going to give it. I gave the cabinet away after I pulled all the hardware off of it to a collector up north who was very, very happy and gracious to have a real Tron cabinet missing some hardware.
Well, let me just say two things. One, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize Papa Sean 69 for his major accomplishment. We are 15 minutes into the episode, and he's already got 6 beers down. I've only got one that I'm almost done with, but it is a 16 ounce, so that helps.
No beer
thank you for the $5 million Canadian donation, Papa Sean 69. And the second thing, Chance, is I was going to mention this during my update, but it's topical now. You mentioned that you're a very big Tron movie fan. So until last night, I had never sat down and watched Tron nonstop, beginning to end. I'd only seen it like, first one. Okay. I caught it halfway, watched it for 15 minutes, and then changed the channel. I forced myself to sit down and watch it end to end, and I must say, I enjoyed it as much as I do the arcade game.
Interesting. Wow.
And
cold.
I will die on the hill that The Wizard is a superior feature-length video game commercial.
Oh, who hurt you?
I mean, other than the Big Lebowski, right? Who seemed like he was lit, like he's the only actor in that movie. The Battlestar, or not Battlestar, the Babylon 5 guy was just wooden. Like the dialogue was terrible.
Oh, come on, man.
Would have been more, more impactful in 1980.
Have you watched Ares yet? The new Tron movie?
No.
Okay.
And I wanted to watch.
I wanted.
Yeah.
Neither
I felt like they've made so many of them that I need to like actually go and sit down and go through. Right.
Yeah. Have we talked about Ares on this yet?
I don't think so. That's the one with the 30 Seconds to Mars guy.
That's yeah.
Jared Leto.
Right. That's the movie that got away for Josh and I.
I heard bad things.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard bad things too. Josh and I, I've heard good things and I've heard bad things. Josh and I had an opportunity potentially to go to Vancouver and work on that movie because it was with the same playback crew that had done The Last of Us. And so we chatted with her a little bit back and forth, and then like COVID and the shutdown, or the writer's strike and the shutdown and all that kind of stuff. And it was like, it just never materialized. Like sometimes it does in Hollywood. And it was really frustrating. And then fun fact, so after they wrapped that, the props crew from that show ended up on a Jean-Benet Ramsey bio series that we just finished last spring.
Great family movie.
Great. It's gonna be good. It's Clive Owen and Melissa McCarthy as the like Mr. and Mrs. Ramsey. It's going to be really, really
a comedic
good.
actress. As
I'm not kidding. Okay, look, time out.
Debatably.
Look. I gotta admit, I was not her biggest fan. I found her kind of annoying. Her Gilmore Girls stuff was good. I didn't like Identity Theft. I thought it was just, it's like one of those actors. It's like they're shoving down your throat. Did not like her. In person, she was lovely, hilarious, funny, very generous person. Like we were on a set once and I had a CRT TV and like it wasn't working. And we were trying to like feed it through one of our boxes to make it camera friendly. And like there was something loose inside. So I smacked it on top and she's sitting behind me waiting for the scene to start. And she's like, I do that too. And I'm like, yeah, my next step is a hammer. And she just started laughing. Like she's just a lovely human. But
I thought you were going to say, she was like, oh, it's probably cold solder joint.
Yeah. But jeez, could you imagine? But no, the JonBenet Ramsey thing will be really good. Anyway, tangent. What I was getting into is that the props team on that show was the same props team from Aries. And when they found out very early on that Josh and I were the guys in town that did all the arcade stuff for everything that landed here and like The Last of Us and everything, we got into this big, long, epic conversation about Aries and like some of the things they had to do for that show. And they brought me some of those tokens. So I have some of the Tron Aries like movie prop tokens, and I've like NCOM tokens. And then I've got, similar to those ones there. That's what the California Adventure one.
That's Barcade.
That's Barcade. So I've got
the original
Arcade
TM.
One. That's the only one I don't have. So I've got the California Adventure one. Someone had given me like a handful of them when I first did sold me a handful of them when I first did the Tron or the Flynn's Arcade MAME cabinet. Now I've got one of the ones from the movie, like actual ones from the movie. And
I'll mail you one for 25 cents plus shipping and handling.
Done. Let's go. And anyway, Tron Aries, movie that got away from us and I still haven't seen.
Well, here's a super chat that didn't get away from us. Kawaru 0005 with a $50 trillion US super chat donation. Kawaru says, happy holidays to Overtime Arcade and the Coin Jam podcast. Stay warm. Don't worry. That comforter is going to keep Cade nice and warm down in Texas.
Rawr.
Hell yeah.
There you go. And I had to. So here's the thing. So this is actually like a fat head that I got made, right? And I haven't actually stuck it to the wall. I like where it is, but this lineup is going to change. I've got some plans. I'm going to move some stuff around, and I'm actually going to have this as a Williams row, right? So the Moon Patrol is going to come down here, and the Defender and Stargator.
So no more here. Pango causing a
it's just
delay.
It's going to move to a different part, right? So like I think what I'm going to do is actually get the pinballs out of this room. This is going to be a vids only room, and that wall is still going to be that. But instead of having a perpendicular thing here, I'm going to run it back to back row that way, right? I got it all figured out. But that's going to be all Williams, and I'm going to need to adjust. And I don't know yet. I'm going to need to adjust the position of it. So I've got painter's tape just holding it on for now. But the vent is over there in the ceiling, and it had been pointing at it, and it kept knocking it down because it would get hot, and the painter's tape would just kind of like relax enough to fall over. So now I got the vent pointed away, and it's just cranking the heat at me, especially with the games on in here. So, John Kawaru, thank you. We'll be staying warm, no problem.
Did you know, fun fact, based on John's donation to the channel, that StreamYard is only $45 a month for their core?
I want to get rid of it entirely.
Sure.
Go to something else. We've been talking about that for 2 years.
Yes. You're lazy.
So, yes. So I'm not the only lazy one, though. I'm not the only lazy one. I keep asking you guys for episode ideas.
You are
it's Marky Mark that shows up with them.
I like this idea. This is a great. It's great. Like fan suggested topics, man. That we're here for them, not us.
Crank through my updates real quick. We'll crank through my updates real quick, and we'll get to that. I know you got some exciting stuff to talk about, Chance. So let's see. What have I been doing? Busy as always. Wrapping up the J-Rock Walter Williams. That's basically done. I was trying to remove the paint from the Irish food fight. That's been a pain with the sort of textured, like rhino lighting truck bed liner paint they got inside. I did make a pickup. So first pickup since August, believe it or not. This one was courtesy of Jumping General. He picked this up for me. Had a whole story in the video about it, but essentially, I think Liam found the deal originally for a red tent with 2 working monitors and, half a dozen extra kits. And so, and I'm like, yeah, I want that, right, for a good price. And Jumping General lived, 45 minutes away from the guy, and he offered to go grab it. And so he's got it all worked out. He's, one day after work, Friday after work or something. And I think even the night before the guy confirmed, and then the day of, Jumping General, who's also John, tries to confirm and doesn't hear from the guy. Messaged him over lunch break or something, heard nothing, and messaged him after work. And he's like, hey, I'm about to head your way. Is this still good to go? And the guy's wife and son respond to him. Dad got arrested. Dad's in jail. But don't worry. We can see the messages here. We're happy to, support the. We'll stand by the deal that he worked out. Right? We'll honor the deal. And I told John, I'm like, yo, I'm totally okay if you're sketched out by this and don't want to do it. But he went through it anyway. Anyway, so I got a red tent with 2 working monitors. They both need to be rebuilt, but they are functioning. So the yolks aren't toast and whatever. So really excited about that. I'm not sure exactly what my plan is.
Remind me while we're here, because we always, whenever we talk about red tents, it's always a service to remind people or educate people that even if the yolks are toast on a red tent monitor, you can
you can put a K7000 skinny yoke. Yeah,
exactly.
Thank you, Mike's Amateur Arcade Monitor Repair.
Yeah.
But SNES Cube 64 just picked up a red tent that is missing both monitors, which is a challenge to track those down. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that. I am going to keep the red tent. I'm thinking because the red tent makes it so convenient to pop the top open, swap boards in and out, that I'll just have that set up for quick swaps of boards, because like the Versus Unisystem that I have, you got to pull the cabinet out of the lineup or somehow access the back to change the game.
Can I make a suggestion?
Of course.
Track yourself down the leg extension kit for the red tent. Everyone's like, oh, the red tent takes up so much space. It's so big. No, it's actually great. If you've got a row of games back to back, it's the perfect game to cap off an end of a row of games. You put the leg extension on it. It is an absolute
the better game be the upright VS to cap off a row.
Well, you could say that, but that's a big game. I know, but that's still a big cabinet. Like, fundamentally, that thing is huge. If you don't have access to one of those, because we have a million red tents up here, but I've seen one of those duels in person.
They're not as big as you think. They're actually they're smaller. So yeah, I think it's lighter than this.
They are.
And it's not even 1.5 cabinets wide.
But anyway, my point stands. Put the leg extension on it, because it's gorgeous. It's amazing.
Those grow on trees. Right?
We all know what you feel about having tall cocktail games. Like,
I don't want to sit
leg
down.
Extension.
Yeah, I think.
Does anyone reproduce that? Like, can I make one?
I think someone was, but they're so basic. Like, it's just a couple of bits of tubular steel. Like, honestly, I could probably give you measurements from mine, and you could have one done up and powder coated in like no time. It is legitimately a game changer.
Quick Clav search says Jonavision. This was back in May of this year. Sold his to Mike's Arcade, so maybe Mike might have them reproduced sometime.
Yeah.
Anyway,
if Mike has it, he's going to reproduce it. Like, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, he only does it. I mean, he runs a business, right?
Yeah.
Like, he has reproduced the because I also need, like everyone always does, the coin buckets for the red tent, because they're like, it's not like a door with a bucket, it's a together thing. So you unlock it and the whole thing comes out, right?
Yeah, I know. I've got to.
And the red tent has 2. and it's the same actually as the Donkey Kong Junior cocktail. It's the exact same thing, same color, same everything.
Yeah.
And so mine was missing when I got the Junior cocktail. Mike has had them reproduced a few times. I was able to wait until he had a batch. And so when I got that red tin, I contacted him, and he actually had somebody else. It wasn't Mike that responded. I guess he must have somebody helping him now. Respond and say, nope, we haven't done them anymore, and we're not going to be doing them again.
What's his name? He's been there for forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike's always responded himself, but it's cool.
Oh, no, it's always either one of them that I talk to.
The reason I bring this up is Takeman has a interest thread going right now. So if anyone out there needs a red tent coin bucket or two, or coin bucket for a Donkey Kong Junior cocktail, I think it's the same for a Popeye cocktail. There's a thread on Claw of interest. I think we only need a couple more for him to do the run. So
maybe want to start the show with that next time so that I can spend some money right away. Oh my god!
Well, there's no money to spend. You're just committing.
I'm missing one of those.
It's like the PBS, charity drive. I have 4 pickups pending. These are all part of a trade. So I've worked out a trade for the we finalized the trade, Mark and I, for the J-Rock Multi-Williams. I will be getting a game that I really wanted, a project that I really wanted for a while, and also a cabinet that I guess I could use. If nothing else, I can absolutely use all the parts from it, and then I can easily sell the cabinet. And the only other thing he asked is he's dropping off 2 Tempest cabinets. He wants me to get turn them into one working one for him. I've already worked on that game before, and we got it close to running, so should be relatively easy to get that going. And I'll say that the game that I'm really excited about getting, one of them is a blue Donkey Kong cabinet that has Hogan's Alley in it with the gun and everything, right?
Yeah.
So I've been wanting a Junior cabinet to put my Donkey Kong 3 board in. I might just break down and use this blue DK for it, but I'd also be interested if somebody out there has a Junior cab and wants a blue cab to make that deal.
So
go ahead.
There was, I think this was a thread on Clav a number of years ago. There was a discovery on an early flyer. I want to say it was Junior.
Mm-hmm.
It was Donkey Kong Junior in a blue cabinet on a Nintendo flyer.
Sure. No, what I'm saying is I want it.
I think for sale a little bit north of me, converted.
Well, I want an orange plywood cab, ideally.
Yeah, it's orange.
To put a DK3 kit in that I have.
Oh, you want to put DK3 in an orange cabinet?
Yeah.
Oh,
because I already have I have a Donkey Kong upright. I've got a Junior cocktail.
Yeah.
To complete the trilogy, I wanted an orange cab just to kind of offset it a little bit more visually interesting.
Yeah, because it was either that just reminded me. It was either there was Nintendo at one point in a very, very short period made a yellow cabinet, which I don't think it was. No, there was not a yellow cabinet. It was something that we didn't expect. No, but I for some reason I have this memory that there was one.
They might have sold Juniors in the last runs of blue DK cabs.
That's I think what ended up happening.
And you'll see DK3s and blue cabs all the time, but I want an orange one just to make it more look interesting, especially because Pango's blue. I don't want to ship it from Alberta.
No, I'm not going to get That's
if there was a red one that fell on my lap, I would take it. So that'll be cool. Obviously, I did the. I'm actually, very happy with how it came out. Repairing the Outrun dashboard for my Outrun Mini with the ABS slurry. That Marquee Mark, who has been in here a bit, he put me onto that. He learned that from a YouTube video on something completely unrelated to arcade games, and it worked out great. Really? For my application, I know Arcade Jason used the same technique to fix the seat on his Sinistar cockpit, I think.
Oh.
So that's the ABS slurry thing. Oh, yeah, and the other game that I'm getting out of this trade is a game that Liam mentioned earlier, and it's not Space War.
Dual monitor Nintendo versus system.
I already got one of those. I just haven't talked about it yet. It's been hiding in plain sight in my garage for 6 months, and nobody's even seen it.
You have something you have to pick up here as well.
What's that?
You have something you have to pick up here as well.
Dignity?
I know. What is
your
it?
Ongoing project.
Board?
It's a board that you paid
yeah,
for a
Marble
lot of money for it.
Yeah. I got a Marble Madness kit pending pickup. I'm talking
Ooh.
cabinets. Well, the daughter board.
Yeah,
Working
not the
daughter
whole
board.
thing.
Because I already have a main board. I got a System 1 main board. Earlier this week, I dropped off the Vanguard cabinet that I had for sale for a while. Dropped that off at Fastenal. Made a video that nobody watched about actually how to go, except for Chance, who had some production feedback for me on it, which I appreciate. As a professional, so Vanguard is out of the lineup. Vanguard is en route to Texas right now, and I moved Crystal Castles into the basement. So that's in Vanguard slot all the way at the end of this row. That'll likely get moved around. I'll probably have a Nintendo section. I'll have a Williams section. I'll have a Atari section. So I'm back to having 5 Atari games. On 5? Yeah, 5. Asteroids, Centipede, Tempest, Red Baron, and Crystal Castles all in the basement together.
I thought you were selling your Red Baron.
And yeah, I watched the Tron movie and I didn't much care for it.
I thought you were selling your Red Baron.
No, but I would be willing to part with it for the right thing. Right. So if like somebody showed up and said, "Hey, I really want your Red Baron,"
a waterlogged ICB.
No, I would absolutely trade it. For example, like a Spy Hunter sit down project, plus cash, or whatever to make it even. But I'll hold on to that until I need it for like killer trade bait, but I'm perfectly happy for it to stay here. I don't think there's much else. Like I'd get rid of the Time Pilot if somebody wanted that.
Papa Sean says you need a fire truck.
I do need. Oh, I would like a fire truck. I like fire trucks.
Great game.
And in fact, Barcade has a 2-seater fire truck cabinet.
Yeah, but not for sale.
No. But I played that. They've moved it between locations because they do a good job like rotating. Yeah. But if you've never played it, it is a
Go ahead.
It's a 2-seater, almost like a cockpit, right?
Yeah.
So so it's like it's a ladder truck, like a fire department ladder truck.
Game.
It's massive.
Where somebody, in real life, the old school like ladder truck fire trucks had 2 drivers, one in the front, one in the back, and the backseat driver could turn. So like you could like intentionally fishtail the truck in a controlled fishtail, right, to steer it. And so the 2-player fire truck, the front driver is sitting in a cockpit style. It looks a little bit like the Spy Hunter cockpit because it's not like Star Wars, right? It's not a canopy over your head. It's an open sit down. And then the second driver stands behind the first driver, so you're both looking at the same screen,
at the
same monitor. The back driver is looking over the head of the
It's like an absolutely massive black and white monitor. It's like 25 inches or something.
Yeah. Awesome game. Super basic, Bronze Age. It's kind of like there's other games that have the same sort of thing where you're basically just trying to keep it on the road. If you go off the road,
isn't Smoky Joe's the exact same game except just 1 player?
Yeah.
It's what?
The exact same game except 1 player.
1 player, yeah.
There is a 1-player cabinet too for fire truck.
I know fire truck. I've played it before.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was the gnarliest thing because you like walk up to the coin door and like one of you sits down in the bench and the other one like puts the coin in and the second wheel's up there. But every single time somebody brings up that game, I think Fire Escape, like the one with the
football.
That's a pretty fun game too.
Yeah.
Yep. Liam and I have been to a party at his real name's Pat. What's his username? He's got a Nintendo Virtual Boy as his Clav avatar. Dog P. Yeah. Longtime Clav member. He's got an awesome house collection. His entire basement is full of games, including at the bottom of the landing.
I missed you there last time.
I know. I've been there a few times though. He's got a really nice Fire Escape, which is, if you guys have never played it, or for listeners who've not played it, it's almost like it's kind of similar to ice cold beer, except the ball's coming down
the opposite way. Yeah.
Yeah, not going up. right?
I think it was
So it drops the ball at the top, and you're trying to get down the fire escape without falling.
Was it Phoenix Arcade or was it this old game that did reproduction fire escape glass? And that shocked me because I didn't think it was a very popular game.
But the dozen or so people who needed it probably willing to pony up.
We have one. We have one local here that always ends up in the big Edmonton Pinball Festival, YEG Pin, and it shows up. Or even we used to have Vancouver Flip Out. It would always show up at one of these events, and it's just the gnarliest, funnest. Like it gets old fast, but like it's cool, right? It's unique.
It's a tough game.
Yeah,
it's fun though. Well, I mean, ice cold beer is tough too after the first couple of holes.
Yeah, I mean, right? What do you like? I think 7 or 8 is when I slow down.
Yeah, but then the game starts messing with you where the motors stop going at the same speed. Yeah. And then if the game's not well maintained, it gets really difficult.
Yeah. It was funny. So my buddy Al picked one up a couple of years ago, and I went into like probably about a month or two after he got it. And I went to go see him, and I show up and I start playing it, and I just shoot through the first, I think it's 5 holes. And I'm waiting and waiting, and I turn. Yeah, right. I'm waiting, and I turn around, and he's just like, how did you do that? Like there's that one hole where you crank them and you go all the way up.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like
and watching. If you get all the way to the top, you then have to crush one of his beers.
Yeah. But like watching people, like we saw Robert Gagno. He's like one of the best pinball players in the world. We saw him roll a Zeke's Peak with just like that in Vancouver once. And if you know the like he just went for it, and it's the coolest thing ever.
So with that, why don't we transition to our topic du jour, which is our topic of the day. And this one comes to us from Overtime Arcade channel member Marky Mark. He posted this in the members only Discord. Basically, our happiest memories or the best gifts we ever received for Christmas, holidays, that sort of thing. So even though this is technically our November episode that we're 2 weeks late on, looking ahead, it is there's only 11 more days until Christmas. So getting into the spirit, we've got the tree up here, we've got all the kids' gifts figured out, all that stuff. We got some cool stuff going on here. But I don't know how much you guys have thought about it. So for me, one of the things I was worried about with this topic is, well, it's kind of difficult to make that really arcade game related, because I don't know about you guys, unless you grew up, on the set of Silver Spoons, you probably weren't receiving arcade games as Christmas presents as a kid. But I actually had an idea on how to make this a little bit more arcade related for the stories that I share here. But do any of you want to go first with some particularly heartwarming and or funny and or humiliating anecdotes to relate about this topic?
Okay, not all at once. To go first, yeah. I didn't want to talk over anymore.
Were those sheets a Christmas present?
I was gonna ask.
No, these were inherited. I have memories to share, but they are not arcade related. They are console.
Yeah, mine aren't either.
Yeah, mine aren't either. But gaming related. I think that's fair.
They're arcade adjacent, I guess, is the best you're gonna get. So I grew up poor, but I mean, I guess all children grew up poor. I grew up with my parents being poor. I guess that makes more sense. But Christmas 1994, I want to say.
Good times.
I don't know how they managed it, but my sister and I got a brand new in the box Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. I got the Super Nintendo. She got the Sega Genesis.
Wow.
I don't know how they managed that.
They started a console war in their house.
That's correct. And my sister never really played video games, so really I got a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis that year. So that was
94.
Your parents did that for entertainment for themselves, not for the two of you.
They didn't play games.
No, so they could watch you guys bicker about it.
No, because my sister didn't really play games either. So really, those were both presents for me.
Cool.
What were the packages?
I played Genesis more than she did.
Was that Donkey Kong Country by 94 for Super
No, it came with Super Mario World and Sonic 2.
Yeah.
My parents absolutely trolled us when we were kids with presents every now and then. one of the things we did as a Christmas tradition is that on Christmas Eve we could select one present and open that one present. And one year, I was a kid, I really wanted an iPod Touch. It was like the thing back then. And so that I was really dead set on the iPod Touch. And we got around to Christmas Eve, and it was time to pick a present to open. And I found one in the pile that was roughly the right, size and shape for iPod Touch. And it turned out that I think my mother did this. She had like cut sticky notes and stacked them to be the exact dimensions of the box, and like wrapped that just to fuck with me. And I'm sorry, Charlie, but that was really funny in retrospect. And that's what I opened. And it wasn't under the tree at all. It came out the next day.
What? Your parents are like, that's fuck.
Well, I remember an episode of Roseanne where they were trying to mess with their kids, and they had a similar sort of thing too. And, the kids would go, look at the presents and pick up the presents and try to figure out what was in them and shake them, right? And try to figure it out. And so what they did was all the presents looked like clothes. So no kid wants to open up clothes as their first present Christmas Eve, right? So what they did was they wrapped all of the presents in clothes. So you shake the box and it sounds like clothes, but there's actually a present wrapped in the clothes inside the box.
You know what? That's messed up because there's like a density similarity there.
Yeah.
Between
it was
like
really good. It was really good.
Oh my.
You probably didn't think it was really good at the time.
That explains so much why you are the way you are.
So anyway,
and,
can we go back to Kay's? Because I want to know more about the console war in his house.
This wasn't
next year
a unique incident, by the way.
So next year with Kay, did you get a Game Boy Color and your sister got a Atari Lynx or something?
God.
Or Game Gear?
Actually, I did have a Game Boy and she had a Game Gear. I don't remember if those were Christmas presents, but
so you had both again.
And I had a Game Boy. Yeah, that is true. And she never played the Game Gear, so I played the Game Gear.
So you got both.
She did. Yeah, so I got.
I don't understand how a poor family thinks that a thing that takes 6 AA batteries is a good investment for their children.
You had to get the AC adapter, and you weren't allowed to leave the wall where it was plugged in.
Oh, I fully remember. We're gonna get there. Trust me. Wow.
There were a lot of rentals because we had those consoles, but couldn't afford to buy more games. So
yeah,
just a lot of rentals. And actually, whenever we opened those presents and got the consoles, it came with rented games as well.
Nice.
So whenever I played the Super Nintendo, I not only had the pack-in Super Mario World, but I also had Final Fight 2, Turtles in Time, and the Blues Brothers of all games.
What?
Yeah, I don't know why my parents thought that was one I wanted to play, but I got that too.
There was a Blues Brothers?
There was a Blues Brothers Super Nintendo game.
How the hell do I not know this?
I don't remember anything about it.
The hell out of that. Charlie's typing away on these
platformer,
trying to like beep us out for the audio version. That's cool.
Did I miss a bad language?
Yeah, Liam said.
Oh, I know that. No, there was also Blues Brothers for the NES too.
I did not know this. I didn't know that John. That's cool.
I don't remember it being very good because I remember playing the other games a lot more.
Oh man.
Keep talking without me for a second.
Nintendo 64,
we lost Charlie.
So.
He hides his camera when he has to get up because back to our original topic, he's not wearing pants. He went to turn around earlier to look at his games when he was talking about how he's doing in Williams Row, and I'm like, how do I blur his screen?
So fast forward a couple years later, I want to say 1997. Oh. I wanted a Nintendo 64. As was the thing at the time.
Yeah.
Parents could not afford it.
So you got that, and your sister got a PlayStation.
No.
That's where you went to go get a copy of Blues Brothers on NES. That's gnarly.
So I wanted a Nintendo 64. That was not in my parents' budget that year. So what I got was, in their eyes, the next best thing. I got an Atari Jaguar because, of course, that's a 64-bit system, right?
No, that I would have rather had a bunch of like sticky notes wrapped up like an iPod Touch than a Jaguar.
Well, I didn't have any subscriptions to any like gaming magazines, so I didn't know what an Atari Jaguar was. And this is when it was very much on its decline, and you could buy a brand new Atari Jaguar in the box, 2 controllers, 7 games,
64 bits. Do the math.
So before we look up that price today, I just logged on to price charting, not to tangent too much, but if anyone doesn't know what pricecharting.com is, it's a website that you can catalog your console collection. I think they switched to comics as well too now. Video games, trading cards, comics, Funko Pops, Lego
Funko Pops,
coins. Yeah. I don't know why. But anyway, so they started price charting started as a video game collection website and like a value assessment website. And one of the cool things about it is you can look up console games, right? And I just looked up Blues Brothers on that. There is a PAL Game Boy game, a NES game, an N64 Blues Brothers 2000, a Super Nintendo Blues Brothers title, a regular Game Boy title of the one that Charlie showed, a NES title, and a Super Famicom version. Blues Brothers was that influential that it made it to almost every single Nintendo platform.
Look at that.
Exactly what price charting is. Thank you.
Look at that.
And he didn't have to go far to pull that out of his dresser, folks.
My walk-in closet's right there.
Yeah.
There's also, there's also a Platoon NES game.
Yeah, but Platoon is Platoon. This is Blues Brothers, right? They're on a mission from Gad.
At least more kids are probably watching Blues Brothers than Platoon.
I need to go watch Blues Brothers tonight. I think after we're done, I'm just gonna go straight and I'm gonna like straight downstairs and I'm gonna tell. Yeah, it's so good. Like he's got everybody in there. Like, oh.
So to bring it to more present day,
yeah.
My niece is 5 years old now. Last year for Christmas, I got her a bootleg NES Classic. To get her started on video games.
Yeah.
So that's hooked up in her room, and we'll play that every once in a while.
Yeah, I think
for her,
all kids need a Nintendo education.
Mm-hmm.
All kids.
For her birthday, a little bit before that, I got her, or maybe it was the year before that, but I got her a Bubble Bobble, one of the little arcade cabinets that are like this tall, but it plays like the NES ROM version of it with the little tiny arcade controls. Bubble Bobble was one of the games that me and her mom used to play all the time as kids. And so I wanted to get the little arcade version of that for her. And so she really liked playing that little tiny arcade game. That's the only arcade-ish memory I can share. But
very nice.
There you go.
A lot more heartwarming than I was expecting.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of like potential like inter-sibling battle back and forth, but it all just ended up in your court anyway, because like as you said, your sister didn't play games.
My sister and I got into a lot of fist fights, but it wasn't typically over, Genesis does what Nintendo don't or anything like that.
And much
it was over who wanted to be Elrod and Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Yes, we were almost 8 years apart in age, so
wow. And much like Liam's story earlier with my observation, this is why you are the way you are.
Everybody wants to be Elwood.
Things happened every year, and that without fail, the thing that we actually asked for was never under the tree on Christmas Eve.
I hate that. That's frustrating.
They're trying to teach you,
Yeah, but like when you're a kid,
the meaning of Christmas.
But when you're a kid and you tell your parents like the one thing you want is this specific Lego set, and I know they could afford it. Like we were fairly.
So they get you Lincoln Logs instead.
Yeah, Lincoln Logs. When I was a kid, my parents were like, "Well, if you want something, what you should do is you should cut it out and put it on the fridge." And like we were pretty poor too, like because we had horses. Well, my mother had horses because we were a ranching family, and it was like. Yeah, horses. We had like 7 or 8 horses. And like this is a woman who bought her first horse trailer before buying her first vehicle because she relied on her friends with the trucks to pull it around and move her horse. Anyway, long story. But so like we didn't have a lot of money growing up either, and like they'd be like, "Hey, yeah, put what you want on the fridge, cut it out of the Sears Christmas wish book, and throw it up." That El Dorado Lego set, the pirate from the Pirates theme, I wanted that thing so bad when I was a kid, and like now it's like $2,000 if I wanted to buy one. There's no way that's gonna happen. I bought the modern day remake of it, but. Anyway, I digress. Liam,
horses got to eat.
Horses got to eat. Liam, let's go back to your iPod Touch, please, because I want to know, like, how old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah,
like late 20s.
Okay, because like I used to fix iPod Touches when I worked at the Apple Store, like 15 years ago. Good God.
Yeah, I was a pretty small kid.
Wow.
I remember that one. That was they got me on that.
That's insane.
That was really good.
That's like better than my rubber Cheerios story. That's good. I like that.
I think that was the only time I actually fell for it and like opened the trap box, but it was a
That's like an RPG thing. You think you're opening up the treasure chest, but it's a trap.
It's a mimic. It's a mimic.
Did you like what happened after that? Did they just like laugh at you as you ran away crying? Do you remember? Did you
Oh
laugh
yes.
out?
Yes,
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
I'm so sorry. This is so good.
So anyway, I'll be putting them in a home.
Yeah. It's my parents. It's like I'm like one phone call away from putting them in the crooked home I saw in 60 Minutes. Like that's horrifying.
You're gonna do a similar thing with their medication when you're caring for them.
Oh, I'm pulling. If I ever have to, I'd be pulling that plug so fast. God, I can picture little Liam with the long hair at that age, just like I bought it, and just going off crying. That's sad.
No takebacks.
And they didn't let you open anything else up after that?
No.
What like that? What a dick move. Like I know one year as a present, this was, oh man. This is before I met Vanessa. I was dating a girl. We had moved into a house, like a townhouse, or like a little condo kind of townhouse thing. And when we bought the place, it had the worst dishwasher on the planet. And it was, I think maybe like about a month before Christmas. And
that's why I broke up with her. Yeah, if you know what I mean.
Wait.
There you go.
I knew, and Jamie knew, that if we didn't have a dishwasher in that house, that like we'd probably fight and break up right away. So as she had no idea, we were talking about like doing something about it in the spring, like getting one. And I had a big box and then a smaller box and then wrapped in a smaller box and wrapped in a smaller box and wrapped in a smaller. I think I went like 7 or 8 boxes deep, and inside was the receipt, like the debit card receipt for the dishwasher. And I'm like, it's being delivered next week. It's Christmas. What did you want? Like, what did you
expect? Yeah, well, if you're talking about just horrible wrapping jobs, I've dealt with those plenty. I gave a buddy of mine something that was like wrapped in concrete. Just
I'm sorry, what?
Oh yeah, he and I had for a couple of years just progressively got more ridiculous wrapping boxes. Like I gave him something that was in a safe at one point, like a fireproof safe. I put the key in a cryptex. Like that was the kind of stuff that happened, and eventually it escalated to just putting a box in concrete.
That's
with a hammer and chisel. Yeah.
I haven't done like a good wrapping prank in years, and I know my wife's watching this right now, so there's absolutely no way I could get away with one this year. So, wow. Oh my God. Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
It took some time.
How about you, Chance?
Me?
What was the Red Ryder BB gun of your youth?
So, okay, let's go back. It is Christmas. It is December 1989.
That's when Christmas usually is.
Yes, thank you. 1989, kids.
Good year.
What? How old was I? 5?
I have an 89.
I was
story.
6. I woke up that morning to this.
That's usually when you wake up.
Yeah. Well, not for me anymore. Now I wake up in the afternoon. Anyway, I woke up to this. This is my original. No, this is my original 1989 first gen North American release Game Boy. And it does look all filthy. Like filthy. It's not. That's black paint, because a few years later, when they released the colored series of Game Boy, the DMG Game Boys, I thought it was in my best interest to take this thing apart, paint the shells, and as you can see, most of the paint has come off now. I, at one point, actually did remove as much of it as I could. But this is my original Game Boy. The cool thing about this is from the first run of Game Boys that landed in North America, because it has Phillips head screws in them. Nintendo very quickly switched to the tri-wing screws afterwards. So I can tell that my parents bought this early that summer, or I guess that fall, before that had come out. And this had come with, of course, Tetris. And then
wait, hold on. How do we know that's true? First of all, you put exactly. I was going to say you just heard a lot.
Because I went to reach down and grab another game.
But you admit to voiding your warranty and opening up your Game Boy. So how do we know those are the original Phillips screws?
Well, because I would have never have separated them. I have OCD, and if I take something apart, it goes back exactly the way I took it apart.
You painted it black?
That was a childhood mistake. I just thought it was so cool, and I didn't think my grandparents, because I was living with my grandparents by that time.
All his friends on the playground had Play It Loud Game Boys, and he felt totally left out.
I just so wanted one.
Seeing that and thinking about Christmas does remind me of something I would love to find under my Christmas tree. A certain TPG.
Oh, yeah. Well,
oh, yeah.
Get all these back.
Wait. Anyway, okay. So these are the original screws. I'm not kidding. I've gone on record about this before, because I took this thing apart.
No, I'm just really impressed that you have that on your desk, ready to go.
Wait, normally it lives right there on that shelf. Okay. And Josh and I were going to do an episode on the Canadian Arcade where we did a Game Boy challenge. So we were going to basically take our childhood Game Boys. He had his sister out east send him his, because he had one too. And I've had this and all of my games and accessories for it since I was a kid, always within arm's reach. And we were going to start, and the challenge was going to be, can we mod these Game Boys with all the other cool mods and accessories that are out there? You can kind of see it right here in the picture. I've got a DMG with Canadian Arcade shells. So it's a smoke black DMG with a Canadian Arcade. Hold on 1 second. Let me do what Charlie does. It's not blacking out my screen.
And not wear pants, or?
Oh, yeah, I guess not. I don't actually have my original Game Boy anymore from when I was a kid. The closest I have is I still have my Nintendo 64, which was the only console I ever had.
This is a fully custom from the ground up DMG. And you know that pattern we use? No. We had these shells made. So Josh and I were going to take
screws or tri-wing?
No, this is Phillips, because these are aftermarket shells. So I don't even have a set of tri-wing screws in here other than what came out of a couple of Game Boy Colors. So when we got into the challenge, the idea was you could spend as much money as you wanted, and we both filmed our builds and our sourcing of the materials and everything, and then we were going to have someone vote. We were going to have the subscribers vote on who had the better Game Boy at the end. But when we got through it halfway, I couldn't bear to strip this thing down. It just meant so much to me, and neither could he. We ended up getting donor Game Boys as the main boards for these, and we went all out with multicolor backlit screens, fully designed art package. If you've seen some of our artwork on the Canadian Arcade on our title cards, this is the same pattern. It's got wireless
charger.
Yeah, it's a wireless charger in there.
And I just saw the coil.
Yeah, and this is a prototype wireless charger from Retro 6. they didn't even make these wireless chargers for the DMG, but they made one specifically for me for that video, and we just never made the video. It would have been like a 2-hour
I was gonna say
video.
you went through all this trouble, you did all this work, and you never released a video.
No. But anyway, because we got really busy with work. But the point is like I couldn't take this thing apart, right? And then eventually, just to get back on
again, you mean again?
Yeah. Well, and that was I have a vivid memory. So when I painted this a few years later, I have a vivid memory of sitting in the dining room at my grandparents' house, because when we moved back to Alberta, I didn't want to live out on the farm anymore. I moved in with my grandparents because I was like a block away from my school. I hated taking the bus. I have a vivid memory of my grandfather coming into the dining room, looking at me in awe that I've got his screwdrivers and tools out, and I'm taking this thing apart and putting, like, just without even knowing it was a thing, making a screw matrix so that I could get everything back together. And like, I think my aunt was over that day, and she's like, "You're never going to get that thing to work." And I'm like, I'm going to make it work. And I'm going to paint the shells first. But like, this is one of those whole things, like, don't tell me I can't do something, because I'm going to go out and prove you wrong. And
then you moved on to the VCR, and that never worked again.
That never did work again, actually. It still eats tapes. But the cool thing is so, like, just to kind of tie it a little bit back to game and arcade history and who I am as a person. So, of course, it came with this original Tetris cartridge. And most of my games actually have one of these on the back.
I know what that is.
Do you know what that is?
I know what that is.
What is that?
I don't think Liam knows what that is.
Liam,
what it is.
What do you think that is on the back of that?
Looks like a seal of some kind.
No.
And I'm not sure.
I'll give you a hint. It came with a book. Oh, here you go. No?
Now we can read it.
The instructions.
Look at that thing. What's that?
Oh, Game Genie. I do recognize that.
It's a Game Genie. And it comes with a little book. So I got this the next Christmas afterwards. And in and around all of that,
because you couldn't get good at your games.
No, I could. I
never owned a Game Genie or any other kind of cheat device like that.
Well, I had a whole bunch of games. So, like, some of my favorites, of course, was Super Mario World, a game that I played the absolute living Land. Well, sorry, Land and 6 Golden Coins. Both games I beat the absolute tar out of. Radar Mission. So, fun fact, Radar Mission is basically Battleship, but this is Nintendo's original IP of Battleship. And there's 3 levels. You play when you play against the computer, you play against the computer with like a small level, and then a bigger level with a bigger ship. And like at one point, the aircraft carrier launches a jet, and then on the last level, you're actually shooting at tanks. It's really, really cool. And there's a submarine hunt game in here too, like Game B. This is the one game that I think should have made it to the arcade and never did.
I had a total of 3 games for my original Game Boy. I had Kirby's Dream Land, Mega Man, and Pokemon Yellow, and those were the only games I had.
So there, yeah, Pokemon Blue.
I had that too.
So good.
Squirtle for life.
Yellow is the best of them.
Dr. Mario, because this was better than Tetris. Super RC Pro-Am. This is probably one of the best games that was on the Play Choice that made it to Game Boy. I loved this game. Phenomenally cool. The game that actually was very helpful at becoming the reason why I'm such a Formula One fan, this is only half of the reason I feel, was F1 Race. Now, fun fact about this, you bought this game with a little quad tap. And it was a little brick that had a wire out of it. And that wire plugged into the COM port. Whoops, where is it? Yeah, the COM port. Charlie's going to go run and grab one because he's probably got one. It plugged into this little COM port on the side of the DMG, and then you could plug 3 more DMGs into it. I think there was a way to link on another title. There was a way to link like multiple COM ports and have like 16 people playing.
Bomberman?
I think so. I think Bomberman had that ability, but he's out looking for one now. But F1 Race was cool because it was a 4-player game. He's going to be back any second now. And then, 6 Golden Coins. I have a bunch of other, like I had Follow the Foot Clan. Vanessa got me a copy of the Japanese release of Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah, I'm with Kay on this one. Like, yeah, what friends to play these games with? Whenever I had a console, it was 1 or 2 generations behind whatever everyone else was playing.
Well, but I didn't. Yeah, no, I had a couple of friends that had Game Boys, but like small
What's
town,
the point
and you're
of
like
a 4-player game if you don't have 3 more friends to play it with?
I don't know, man. I just worked.
You're
there.
advertising it based on this feature, which.
Oh, I never used it. I swear I never used that multi-tap, not once. I still have it. It's downstairs in a box. But then again, coming back to the arcade side of things, this is where I learned about Bubble Bobble. So this is where I first played Bubble Bobble and, wrote my own codes for the Game Genie on it. And that was the cool thing about the Game Genie. Like I got this, like I said, the Christmas later. Did you get your quad tap? Did you go find a quad tap? Do you really? Oh my God.
I think it's sealed, so I don't want to open it.
Where did you get that?
The other room.
Ask a stupid question.
Dude.
The seal looks messed up. I think it is sealed, though.
Are you sure it's an original seal, or is that like...
It's an H seal.
Oh,
See?
man. So when I was in grade 6...
The seal, the cello on the front looks all crinkled.
Well, that might mean it's not original. There's a lot of people that'll redo the cellophane. When I was in grade 6, this is actually my second copy of it. When I was in grade 6, it got stolen from me. And we could never prove the kid. We knew the kid had stolen it from me, but we could never prove because we could never find it. He was like one of the bullies in school. And I was sad about it. And my parents like proved to the teachers that I actually owned the game because they brought that little multi-tap in, which was heartbreaking. And then so a number of years later, I ended up getting my another copy of it. But this is literally one of the best racing games in handheld console history. Anyway, so yeah, that's I'm jealous of that, Charlie. That's gnarly that you have that. Yeah, that's so cool. But anyway, so just to kind of tie it back into arcade games. So I always felt, because like I played the ever living hell out of Bubble Bobble. This was probably one of my favorite games. I rolled this thing probably 2 or 3 times after getting it. And then at that one point, my parents were like, well, just start trying different things with this. This was a tool not to cheat on games when I was a kid, but to like make the gameplay harder or different, right? Like, because you could edit the code in it to a degree. And I always felt that Radar Mission would have made one amazingly good arcade title, like the B game version of it, the Sub Hunt. If you haven't seen Radar Mission or you haven't played the A or the B game, you owe it to yourself after this podcast to go and track down Radar Mission, because I had no idea growing up that this was Nintendo IP. It's not like it's a rip-off of Battleship. Is he going to go get a
new in-box copy?
Fucking copy of this?
He has a very extensive Nintendo cartridge collection.
Does he?
Yeah. He's got nearly all the NES titles.
Oh my God. Well, he had Blues Brothers. Anyway, I have a whole bunch more titles in there. And like I said, my wife a couple of years ago for, I think, my birthday, I went on eBay and she found a Japanese copy of Donkey Kong 94. And if you haven't played it, I think we talked about this about a year ago, we talked about this. Donkey Kong 94 is the Game Boy successor to the original arcade Donkey Kong. In fact, the first couple of levels in Donkey Kong 94 are the arcade game. And then it's basically they take every single mechanic that he wanted to put into it originally and then some and tacked it on. And it's Donkey Kong 94. It's actually just called Donkey Kong on the Game Boy. It is phenomenally good. And last summer...
If you think that Donkey Kong is good.
I do. And forget what you think. And last summer, just for the what is this?
So
let me finish the point. Last summer, okay. I took an old Game Boy. I had a spare DMG here. I took it apart. I took the wire or the buttons out of the shell, and I wired a Nintendo Versus control panel to a Game Boy. and I put Donkey Kong 94 in it, and I swear to God, that game was made for the Nintendo arcade controls. It is so good with a Nintendo Versus. So like for the longest time, I know Tiggy, Ty was talking about doing a Nintendo cabinet based off of that as well. And I've been wanting to basically get a colorized version. There's a guy out there who just finished colorizing Mega Man for Game Boy, and he's making a fully colored reproduction, like a DX version of Donkey Kong 94. As soon as he's done that, if he ever finishes that, I want to put that in an arcade cabinet.
My buddy Ben that we've had here on the podcast before, one of his cabinets, he put Donkey Kong 94 on so you could play it on a cabinet.
It deserves Nintendo arcade controls. It is, I would say, probably one of the best gaming experiences I've had. That half an hour I sat downstairs playing it. It's on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram and you go through my at ChanceKJ on Instagram, you can see that I posted like a Nintendo Versus with a whole bunch of wires coming out, a panel with a whole bunch of wires coming out of it into the front of a Game Boy. It is the coolest thing ever. In fact,
so well, first I want to say thank you to Marky Mark for a $5 million super chat donation, wishing everybody the best this holiday season. Cheers to you, Marky Mark. And by the way, again, it was Marky Mark's suggestion for this topic, which I think actually has been a lot of fun.
I'm going to get some hate if console people come here and see this.
So I couldn't find Radar Mission. What's this? Oh, does that plug into to let you play?
Yeah. You know my purple Donkey Kong cabinet that I have downstairs?
Okay.
Like the Donkey Kong Ultimate cabinet that I made? This Game Boy has the same. I made this. This is the same pinout for all the buttons as the panels in my purple Donkey Kong cabinet. So I can take my Donkey Kong control panel from that cabinet, which is a metal panel, and I can plug it into this Molex microfit, and I could play Game Boy games on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find Radar Mission. I bet you I do have it. In fact, I'll pull up my spreadsheet here. Game Boy.
Spreadsheet?
Yeah. Radar Mission. I do not own Radar Mission. However, I thought I might. So I actually grabbed all of my non-organized, loose, Game Boy cards. I do have some interesting ones to share here. First one that Kay might enjoy.
Ooh.
Must Move 2.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know?
Well done.
Here's one. The Smurfs. I think what's interesting about this one, I believe this is the one where it's a million seller, but they never had a non-million seller one. And I think it's because it was released in Europe first. It sold a million in Europe. And so they just marketed it, brought it here.
That's the one where you lose and Gargamel's sitting there boiling the Smurfs and a bunch of kids cried. What?
I don't play these games.
Oh, okay.
Another interesting thing here. Hold on. Here
Gargamel
is
was
another one that has a Game Genie sticker. This is Star Trek 25th anniversary.
That's a good game.
Wave Race, not to be considered with Wave Race 64.
Yeah.
And corporate wants you to spot the difference between these two.
The red logo at the top.
Yep. This is Capcom's release, and this is THQ.
Yeah.
Wow. Or Ubisoft. This is the Ubisoft version with a trashed label. But
what's the difference in price between those?
Go ahead and look them
Empire Strikes Back.
So for while you're doing that, my stories, right? So mine starts in 1988. So I beat you by a year, Chance. 1988, I'm in first grade, and I'm going to this kid Tucker's house because I think his dad was actually our den mom for Cub Scouts. And Tucker lived adjacent to a farm, and so we had lots of room to go and play outside. But then we would come inside and we would play.
Sorry, hold that thought. Answer to the question neither of us asked. The Red Mark Capcom version right now, complete in box. Loose is $32. New price is $253 American.
Okay, Ubisoft version.
Ubisoft version is only $16, and new in box price is $60. So the Ubisoft one, the Capcom one's in better shape. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
So at Tucker's house, he also had an NES, and so that's what I wanted for Christmas. And sure enough, here you go.
So we beat the hell out of Tucker and took it.
So this is actually my spare complete action set, because my nice complete action set, where the box is not my original box, but the NES that's inside is my
I like how
original.
Chance is just pointing to something that is out of frame.
I'm not taking it off my shelf, but I've got one up there too. Look, right there.
This also dates me as a youngin, because they had just switched to the orange zapper when I got my NES.
Because the one's too realistic and would get you shot by a cop.
Yeah.
And so
in Texas, anyway.
Along with it, I got obviously Super Mario and Duck Hunt, and I also got Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest, which to this day I actually really do enjoy, because also we had at this time our babysitter was actually a guy, which is very uncommon, right? To have a teenage high school boy as your babysitter and not a girl. He came exactly one time, and the two things I remember were maybe he came twice.
I jumped in at the wrong time for that. Anyway, keep going.
He only babysat us, I think, once or twice.
That's better.
And he knew that we had just, and this would have been a bit after Christmas. He knew that we had just gotten the NES. He knew that we had Simon's Quest. And so he gave us, I don't have it anymore. I do have a new copy. He gave us his issue number 2 of Nintendo Power. And so I grew up with Simon's Quest with Nintendo, the Nintendo Power for Simon's Quest, which, you need a guide really to play that game. And a lot of people, their hate for Simon's Quest comes from not having a guide. Papa Sean 69 says he babysat when he was a teenager. You never babysat me. However, Clove member and Overtime Arcade channel member Geach. You guys probably know Geach.
Yeah.
Okay. Geach is also now one of the co-hosts of the Coin Rejects podcast.
Yeah.
Right. Geach grew up in the town that my mother-in-law grew up in. My mother-in-law babysat Geach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Small world.
Do you have a bunch of Nintendo Power?
Not my original ones. I'm trying to complete the first 100 issues.
Okay, so one of the first
cutoff.
One of the first issues, this kind of ties back into why I painted this. One of the first issues that was in the first 100 talks about a Game Boy contest that they were going to do, where they showed off like fully custom Game Boys and like some cool
first issues.
Yeah. Well, it was one of the first issues. And it there was 3 vivid versions of the Game Boy that had been totally customized. And I think they were doing it because of the Play It Loud series. I can't remember. I think it was like in honor of the Play It Loud series. And that's what inspired me. It's like, well, if they're going to make custom Game Boys, I'm going to make a custom black Play It Loud Game Boy. So anyway, that's to answer a previous question.
This has been Game Boy Talk.
I really, and he was telling us, and he had no concept of, I should save these magazines.
Yeah.
So he was telling us, he's like, hey, every time I come and babysit you, I'll bring you the most recent issue. And, once the new one comes out, I'll give you the old one. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is great. I don't have to beg my parents to buy a subscription to Nintendo Power. So
they would never do that. Only rich kids had subscriptions to it.
So one of the reasons that it's not a good idea, and get your minds out of the gutter. One of the reasons that it's not a great idea to have a teenage boy as a babysitter is they start to treat the kids as like their little siblings, which means roughhousing comes into play, right? And so we had wiffle ball bats, and we were kind of doing we were kind of doing Star Wars, lightsabers with the wiffle ball bats,
as you do.
And he very lightly smacked my my younger brother just on the crown of his head with the wiffle ball bat. Everything was fine. And then 2 minutes later, he must have like broke a blood vessel because his face looked like Carrie, right? Like his face was just like, it looked like he dumped a bucket of blood on his
Looked like
head.
Ric Flair.
Yeah,
This is why he was only there for 2
so
sessions.
that's why that we did not have that babysitter return.
Oh man.
So the other thing with the NES was so in our house we had 2 TVs. We had a TV in the living room that had the VCR hooked up to it.
Yeah.
And we had a TV in my parents' bedroom, and that's where the NES was hooked up.
Yeah, because they didn't want you guys playing until 2 a.m.
Right.
Which is not true. They actually wanted to play it. Let's be honest.
Well, here's the thing. I remember, probably a month or so after we got it, I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, right? Mm-hmm. And my bedroom was at the opposite end of the hall from my parents' bedroom, and the upstairs bathroom was in between.
Yeah.
Right. So I walk down to the bathroom, and I could hear Super Mario playing in my parents' bedroom. And
Sorry,
I figured,
what year was this?
So roughly? This would have been like, so I got it in Christmas 88. So this would have been early 89.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, and I figured, my parents must still be downstairs. Maybe it's not like, maybe it's only like 11 o'clock at night. Right. And my brother must have snuck in there to play Super Mario. So I bust in there and it's my dad playing Super Mario. I thought that was kind of fun.
So hold on. So that was 36 years ago.
Sure.
Is your dad still with us? Is he still, how old is he?
No, fortunately not. No, he passed.
How old was your dad in 89? So 36 years ago.
Hold on. So
how old was he?
He would have been 37.
He'd have been 37. So
which is younger than I am now.
Yeah. So I'm 41 and I have a Nintendo Switch dock in the bed. Of course he was playing. That's the coolest thing ever.
But no, you understand, like that's a different generation. We grew up with video games. I'm telling you. Like him and my mom, they knew what like Pac-Man was, right? And they knew like, kids like that, and so they'd give us a quarter. My mom, however, later she got on the Tetris bandwagon, right? She played a ton of Tetris on the Game Boy, but that's another story. She never painted it black or anything like that. And then so that was Christmas 88. Christmas 89 was interesting for a couple of reasons. One, I got a Game Boy that year, and again, I have my original DMG Game Boy. I haven't checked to see if it has.
Go get it right now.
That's actually I can't because I have. This was easy enough to grab. I would have to knock off a whole shelf of stuff. I can't access it fast enough. I would have to check and see if it's got the Philips or Triwing. But we got it in Christmas 89. So I don't know when the switchover happened because it came out in August, I think, of 89 is when it got released.
July of 89 was the North American.
So of course we got Tetris and we've got Super Mario Land, which I just put aside for a second. We're here. Wario Land 2. Anyway, I thought I put it aside. Here. Super Mario Land, right? But the other thing we had coming was my youngest brother. So growing up, we would all, Christmas at our house. And then Christmas night, we would go party with my dad's side of the family. And then the day after Christmas was my mom's side of the family. And it would rotate between where it was. This year was at our house. Because the day after Christmas was also my grandmother's birthday, right? She's also passed, right? My mom was 9 months pregnant with my youngest brother. And the two presents I got that I remember from Christmas 89 was the Game Boy. That was the sort of highlight present. But I also got a digital watch, right? And it had a stopwatch. And so I was because when I was done with my turn playing Game Boy and had to let my brother play it, the middle brother, I was timing my mom's contractions with the stopwatch feature on my digital watch. Yeah, so cool stuff.
I just looked it up. Nintendo for the DMG 01 or the Nintendo DMG, the original version only had Phillips screws or JIS screws because it's like a Phillips screw.
Yeah.
only had those screws up until 1990 or potentially early 91. There's some debate about it, but yes, unquestionably,
it should have them. Yeah,
the first run of Nintendo Game Boys did have DMGs, but then they sold the DMG, like this original. They sold what 110 million of these?
Oh, easily. Yeah,
yeah, easily.
So let's jump ahead. Let's jump ahead to Christmas '92. And Christmas '92, what I had been asking for a while, finally got was a Sega Genesis. And by '92, Sonic 2 was already out. Oh, Mike Hip 71 with a Casio for the win. I don't remember if it was Casio or not. Thank you for the $5 million super chat donation. So by Christmas '92, Sonic 2 was already out, and the Genesis 2, the smaller version. So I had been playing Genesis at my teammate on the Pee Wee football team's house. I remember playing Altered Beast a ton on his, and he had the original Genesis with the volume control and headphones jack and everything. But we got the Genesis 2, the smaller one, with the Sonic 2 bundle. Now, by Christmas '92, I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm wise to my parents' tricks, and also, you get to become a little bit of a latchkey kid, right? So you have unsupervised time home alone, 10 years old, going on 11. And I figured out where my parents were hiding the Christmas presents, and they thought they were so smart, hiding them inside the suitcases in the hallway closet, right? So we had a hallway closet that had very little in it, except that's where they would put the luggage, right? And so every day I would get home from school for a week before Christmas, and these things weren't cello wrapped and they had no seal on them, right? So I would go, and they weren't gift wrapped yet. So I would get home off the bus, go into the house, go upstairs, go into that closet, open up the luggage, take out the Genesis, take it out of the package, hook it up and play it. I beat Sonic 2 before I even received it officially as a gift. And every day I knew when my mom would get home and when my dad would get home. And if they were going to come home early, they would call. Not very smart on their part. And I would put it all back and became an expert at putting it back exactly in. So the box would close all the way and everything, and put it back into luggage, back in the closet. Boom.
Did you ever have a conversation with them about this and tell them that story?
I think so.
So they
way long later that they wouldn't care.
Yeah. But eventually they found out. They probably knew.
Yeah. And here's an arcade collection.
My wife is now going through the closets in our house where we keep our luggage, finding her Christmas gifts. By the way, thank you very much for that.
Because that's where you hide them.
Oh,
so the other game that we got, in addition to Sonic 2, was Spider-Man and the X-Men in Arcade's Revenge. So there's an arcade connection for you, just the word, because there was a Marvel villain who I don't think has been in the MCU named Arcade.
No.
And I could grab the Genesis game, but I actually have the Game Boy version too,
with the price ticker on it.
Yeah, not a particularly great game.
Are you just collecting them to have the whole collection of titles released, or are you
of NES? So I'm about 12 games short of a complete North American loose cartridge set. I have about 200 250 complete in box, and then all the rest are loose carts.
So what are you missing?
I'm about all the ones you would expect, like stadium events and whatever. But I have like Panic Restaurant.
Wow.
I'm missing like some of the more expensive unlicensed games. But I've really stopped collecting NES. Like if something falls in my lap. What's that?
You're missing all the Bible ones, right?
I have the Bible ones. Those are like cheap.
Horrifying.
It's the adult themed ones are more expensive.
Even if they weren't Bible related.
You don't have Bubble Bath Babes?
I don't have Bubble Bath Babes. I don't have Peekaboo Poker.
Gal's Panic on NES.
Yeah. But I've most of my time and effort.
We're not allowed to swear, but we're allowed to say Gal's Panic.
There you go.
Ask your parents.
Let's jump ahead to 2022. That was my first time participating in the Clove Secret Santa. And one of the gifts that I fondly remember, but I don't think I've shown a ton on the channel, is an original Q*bert metal like tray.
I was gonna say,
They would eat their TV
an
dinner
ashtray? Oh, okay, it's not an ashtray.
It says copyright 1983 Milestar,
That's
which
cool.
is rat slime backwards. If you didn't
Yeah,
know,
use that to roll your joints, right?
No, you could put. I mean, you could, but you
Yeah.
could put your milk and cookies on this for your after-school snack or your, Swan's TV dinner. So that was cool. And then the next year is I actually got this. Well, I should probably not move it. My podcast mic from channel members got it for me. They all pitched in.
Aww.
And this was actually the second one I had because I bought one, and I was actually on work trips. I would pack it with me, and one time because I would do like members only live streams from on the road, and I left it in the hotel room one time, and I was really bummed. And then they surprised me with that. So
by going and getting it, or like, because you can always call.
No, they bought me a replacement, the exact same model. They figured out what it
okay.
was, and they bought the exact same one. And then
why don't you just call the hotel
that was
and have
23.
them grab it?
I did, and I go to that hotel multiple times a year. But
yeah, they've been stealing from you every single time.
It's not stealing. I left it behind.
No, but like,
fault.
have you been checking the wallet before you leave that hotel?
And
Because
then
you're going there for work, right?
I'm not leaving a wallet in a hotel room.
All right.
Crazy. And then 2024. So last year, in the Discord Secret Santa, the big gift I got then was I was at work and I got a phone call. And I think I was expecting a phone call, but not this phone call. And I answered it. And they're like, "Oh, this is your friendly local Fastenal terminal. Your arcade game's ready to be picked up." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Dillweed sent me a Midway Wheels project as my Secret Santa, and
he shipped it with Fastenal.
He shipped it with Fastenal. Yeah.
Hey, as a small tangent quickly, has anyone heard from him recently? Did he get his Pioneer balloon? Did he?
Yes, he
okay, did. Good. He never followed up with me on that, but cool.
He didn't confirm.
He was very happy with it. He was playing it in the driveway before he even made it into the house. He had plugged
Why
it
did
in
he
with
not
the extension
share
cord.
pictures with me on that? Oh,
Didn't he put in the Discord?
I'm sure they're on Kalov too.
Are they? I only check the Discord when people tag me it now because I've just been so busy at work. But I'll have more time now.
And there you go.
Yeah.
And who knows? I have a gift here that Ty sent me just on his own accord. I have a gift up it might be in the garage that Russell Penner Station sent me. I have my Clav Secret Santa box right there. I have my Discord Secret Santa box over there. So I'll be doing my unboxing and releasing it on Christmas as my Christmas special. So I can't wait to find out what I got this year. Yeah.
Cool.
What's on your wish list?
Liam.
That's also a way of asking what parts you guys looking for, what's coming up next on your
channels.
Segue.
I've used the
professional. Look it up in the book.
I've used the VFX for this too many times this episode. So yeah.
Okay, so getting back on topic, I need an over/under coin door for a Dig Dug cabinet because that's the only thing that I lack other than the artwork I need to order for it. There's just a big gaping hole there that I need to fill. So give me an over/under coin door.
What?
You don't have an over/under coin door?
What?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have I don't have one of those. At least not for that
How?
cabinet.
That's literally the most common. Oh.
Yeah, I've got coin doors for plenty of cabinets, but not for that specific cabinet. I need the entire assembly.
Huh.
I also still need the PCB for the team play PCB for the Centipede, Millipede, Let's Go Bowling Missile Command. So if you got one of those, holla at your boy. And for what's coming next on my channel, I did a part 1 of the firepower pen that I'm working on. I got parts coming in. Should be on Tuesday, hopefully. So part 2 should be coming up before too long. That's the next thing that's coming up. I got 150 to 200 machines to work on. There's going to be other videos, but Firepower should be the next one.
Cool.
Liam, you've got about 150 or 200 machines in your garage right now. What's next?
Nothing. I want to get a Black Widow control panel and a marquee. That's all I need to get that game into the arcade. It is otherwise ready to go and fully functional. I would still love a back wheel for the Star Rider to make that game complete. You know, holding out hope that one day I will find one.
You have to make one out of paper mache.
I guess. I think I've got technically everything I need to fix the Kubert cubes. I've got joystick, harness, everything. Just need to fix the PCBs. So that'll eventually happen, I hope. And that's it, really.
Right on. What are you going to do with all your free time now, Chance?
Right now, I'm looking for Dillweed's posts with the Pioneer balloon.
Drugs.
I don't know yet. I legitimately, the only things I have in the garage that I want to tackle are the Nibbler, which is going to be pretty much the end all to be all of restorations for me, because some, ungrateful son of a decided that he needed to put some laminate job on the side of that thing. It looks really well done, but it's like, how am I going to get that off? And so that's going to be the start. So, like I said, and I've said this millions of times, the racing sim comes first. That's the big plug in the bottle right now. As soon as that thing's done, I'm going to go back to doing games. So there's the Nibblers, basically first come, first serve. And then for parts that I need, I don't know what those are yet. I have to do a full inventory of what I'm missing and what I don't have on it. And then the other thing I'm looking for is a blue plastic shell for a CPS2 board. I won't name any names.
You got the board, you need a shell.
It wasn't his fault. I did a swap with another collector, and UPS. I paid both ways for shipping, and I'm going to let him leave anonymous because I don't want to bring it up. It's not his fault. But UPS, and it was inside a FedEx box, and it was lots of bubble wrap, well done up. But so I shipped him my suicided Marvel Superheroes, him or her, Marvel Superheroes board. He gave me his copy because he had a whatchamacallit kit, what's the Darksoft kit, and so he didn't want a Darksoft a working game. He'd rather Darksoft a game that had already died. And so he sent me his working game, but last week I took it out of the box and UPS has destroyed the shell. It was just shatters of plastic everywhere. The
board survived, but not the shell.
I'm pretty sure the board has survived. I literally have not had a moment because I got home last night from work on my last day at like midnight, 1 o'clock last night. And I haven't had time to go downstairs. I have so much other stuff that I've got to do in the next 48 hours. And so I haven't had a chance to go plug it in and test it. But I know I need the blue and black halves of a shell. I'll take whatever color. If you've got a dead board, I'm looking for the shells. I don't even need the sticker. I don't even need anything. If it's working, I'm going to throw it in the game. So I probably don't need the shells. But it was just shredded. And it's, again, not his fault. It is totally UPS's fault. I sent a return label with it so that he didn't have to pay for shipping, because out of the graciousness of him to do it. And I was just like, oh, so I'm going to throw the board in and test it, but I might need a plastic shell.
You have all this time on your hands, and Harbor Freight sells like 10 tubes of super glue for like $1. So
yeah, that's not going to help. Aside from the fact that it would cost me more to drive to the nearest Harbor Freight in Montana. Actually, Boise is probably the closest Harbor Freight to me.
They don't have cyanoacrylate illegal.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. But I don't know. I can make a slurry or something. But yeah, no, she's shattered, and it is what it is. I'll test it probably in the next couple of days. I got a laundry list of things I got to do in the next 24 hours, so I'll get around to it,
including laundry.
Yeah, literally laundry.
Next video should be, which should have been out today. Should be the finale for the J-Rock Multi-Williams. That's essentially done. Then I need to painstakingly reassemble the Outrun because I took apart every single piece of the steering and the shifter and the accelerator and the brake. That's all completely disassembled down to the like screws and springs and everything. And I'm really hoping that I didn't lose anything. And I'm really hoping, as I haven't checked recently, that there's a very helpful, very clear exploded diagram in the manual that tells me exactly where every single thing goes. I'm sure I can figure it out. So we'll be doing that soon. A lot of Nintendo Versus stuff. I got boards coming out the wazoo. Got to work on the bunch of sharp monitors. I think one of the things I'm going to try to do over Christmas break is completely restore the Berserk all at once. I'm going the J-Rock route for that, so that should be relatively easy. It's been converted, but they didn't paint the sides, so the sides are good. I have the artwork. It's got a 4600, so that works, but it needs to be rebuilt. I'll gut it, put together a power supply, put a JAMA harness to go in there. I have a control panel, and I'm good. What I'm going to do is go with a 8-way Wicco, but I have a handle to replace the ball top. So Berserk originally came with an optical joystick with the giant like bat top. Like imagine it's almost like a Exidy sized joystick. But the optical had issues and they eventually replaced it. But I want to have that at least look and feel, even if it's got a 8-way mechanism. Anyway, people have reproduced the handle with the shaft, but it's like $115 just for that.
Yeah.
Troy from Troy's Restorations, because he was also doing a Berserk. He found an industrial supply company that sells just the handle. And so what you need to do is you take a Wicco stick, with an angle grinder or something, get the ball top off of it so you're down to the bare metal, and then super glue or JB Weld or something the handle, which is threaded, but it's not the right size. It's a little bit big. So probably you want to use JB Weld to add some some bulk to it, so it'll look like the right joystick. So yeah, and then I need to knock out the Missile Command Cocktail. That's my longest lingering project, and then the Irish Food Fight. What I need, still looking for an Enigma 2 PCB. I know those are growing on trees. There's a bunch of MVS carts that'd be interested. I need to get the 25-inch monitor into the big red down here. For the Marble Madness, I now need to figure out a control panel for it. I know people sell the metal panels.
Yeah.
So I can probably just get repro parts for all of that, find a red and blue trackballs and just go that route.
Trust me on this, and I've said this to you before. Get contact juggling balls. Like contact juggling. It's a thing. They're the same size as a HAP trackball, a 3-inch trackball.
But I think people sell the red and blue trackballs.
Yeah, but you can get you can get clear ones.
Or you can get the ones that look like the game.
Yeah,
right.
But why? You could get like really cool ones.
Or you could get ones that look like the game.
And if those aren't available because the repros of those or HAP is out of stock, go find a contact juggling company that sells them, Charlie.
Or go to Quarter Arcade and buy them there because they sell.
They have in stock? Because they didn't have in stock.
It's either them or Twist Your Wrist.
One of the two. But they weren't. I just remember they weren't available. Only like red was available, but I needed both.
I passed up on some originals on eBay that I probably should have gone after. Yeah. But I didn't have a lead on a board at the time, so I'm like, this is not high in the priority stack. But now that I got it, anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that'll wrap us up. We are way over, so thank you to Marky Mark for that suggestion. I thought that would be a dud topic, but it was actually a lot of fun, and I need to clean up all this stuff here, including I pulled them down for no reason. I was going to make a joke about sending one of you guys a signed Billy Mitchell limited edition King of Kong hot sauce. Wow. Not to be confused with the unlimited edition regular Ricky's hot sauce. And this
we
bottle,
actually have
is on
a
Crossleg.
bottle of the hot sauce sitting on top of the X-Men. My wife loves it. She thinks it's hysterical.
Is that Billy
Is it
Mitchell hot
autographed?
sauce?
No, it's not.
Is that any good? Like the Billy Mitchell King of Kong? No,
this
not
stuff
that
is good. Yeah,
no.
I've never had this kind. Well, this is Bill. This also has Billy's face on it, right? Right there.
Yeah. But like, so it's the same stuff, just in a different bottle.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a different flavor.
Because like I fun fact.
Similar
Anyway.
color.
Fun fact: I can't really taste heat. Like the hotness in hot sauce, I can taste the flavor more than it's horrible at home when I'm cooking dinner. But anyway, tangent, long story. But so I've been interested in that hot sauce. That's interesting.
I mean, this is not burn your mouth. Like this is just good hot sauce.
Yeah, no, I'm the taste and the flavor is what I want.
It's not like ghost pepper.
Liam's got to go to bed.
Yeah, me too. All right, guys. My kids have a 2-hour delay at school tomorrow.
Yes. Sam postmated him some gray sweatpants from
All right. Make sure you subscribe to Canadian Arcade and Retrobotics and Prime Arcade on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. Thank you all, especially to Papa Sean 69, Kawaru, 0005, Marquee Mark, and Mike Hip 71 for the super generous super chat donations. We appreciate you all. And if I can get this, oh gosh, if I can, this is another reason we need to get rid of StreamYard. If I can get this stuff going again.
2026, no more StreamYard, please.
No one has ever,
New Year's resolution,
ever clicked that, or should you? Oh. All right, see y'all later.